The following is a special presentation of HDNet Sports. Tonight, K1 hits Eastern Europe for its first ever event in Romania, as 8 of the world's elite fighters vie for a spot in the World Grand Prix Final 16. Will it be the Red Scorpion, Alexei Ignashov, who gets his steam back after a disappointing performance to Badr Hari, the Romanian home crowd favorite Sebastian Ciobanu, or will Mighty Mo rediscover the imposing Samoan Hook en route to the title? 8 will enter, but only 1 will leave as the East Europe champion, as HDNet presents K1 World GP 2010 in Bucharest.
Live from the Romexpo Arena in downtown Bucharest, Romania, welcome to the K1 World Grand Prix Eastern European. Hello everybody, I'm Michael Chavello. Great to be with you here for the first time ever in Bucharest, this real hotbed for K1 in Europe. K1 is king throughout Central and Eastern Europe, and tonight, a star-studded card. One of the men, the winner from tonight's 8-man tournament, will go through to the final 16 in the world in Seoul, Korea in September. Joining me as always, my verbal sparring partner from FEG USA, Mike Kogan. Mike, great to be here with you ringside. Great to be in the beautiful city of Bucharest.
Yeah, I mean, the city is phenomenal. You know, the K1 reception here has been great. I mean, these guys are like soccer stars around here. They're recognized all over the streets. You know, Ray Sefo, Errol Zimmerman, Mighty Mo, all these guys are Ignashov. They're huge stars here, so it's a great place to be. Great energy.
Fantastic 8-man tournament has been difficult. Sides of the draw, you've got the 2 favorites. They have to be Mighty Mo and Alexei Ignashov. Ignashov, who has won several of these European Grand Prix, but that was back in the day when he ruled the K1 Roost around 2003. Mighty Mo, who is a 2-time winner of the K1 USA Grand Prix, also knows how to win these 8-man tournaments. But there are a number of dark horses on tonight's card. I'm talking about guys like Mindaugas Sakalauskas, who recently won another European 8-man tournament. So too did the Kyokushin Russian champion from Estonia, Daniil Slapuljoshin. Slapuljoshin recently won April 10 in Warsaw, Poland, an 8-man tournament under K1 rules. He knocked out 2 opponents on his way to the final, one with leg kicks and one with body kicks. Sergei Lashenko is back again here tonight, and he's lost a lot of weight, Mike. He has slimmed down 7 kilograms since we last saw him in Yokohama.
And I've been talking to his trainer, and apparently for his last fight, because I kind of mentioned, I said, you know, last fight he looked a little sluggish and a little out of breath.
Mike, I've got to say also, besides the fantastic fights here in Romania, have a look at this. This is what Romania is all about. Get the camera on us here, because Romania not only about great fights and great K1, but they have the most beautiful girls imaginable here in Romania. Just a bomb, Mikey. We have been treated by rock stars here tonight. We got off the plane at the airport, and the taxi drivers knew about K1. At the hotel, the staff know about K1. You walk the streets and everybody knows K1 here in Romania. Folks, it is all happening, so strap yourselves in. We're also going to see Sugar Ray Sefo, the return of Carter Williams, Catalin Motoșanu, Errol Zimmerman, and a whole lot more here in Bucharest.
The first fighter is for the first time in Romania. He comes from Estonia. He won K1 Varsovia recently. Ladies and gentlemen, in the blue corner from Estonia, Daniil Saplioshin!
The first ever K1 World European Grand Prix from Romania, with quarterfinal number 1 as Daniil Sapuljoshin makes his way to the ring. Let me go on record now as saying this man is my dark horse for this tournament. The winner of the K1 World Grand Prix in Warsaw on April 10. His fantastic run to that final included 2 brilliant knockouts. The first via leg kicks, the second via body kick. He won the final over Kirill Pendyurov with a decision. Sapulyoshin, who is a Kyokushin exponent, renowned for his powerful kicks, not unlike Daniel Gita. An Estonian who won the Russian Kyokushin Championships, which is really saying something, seeing as Russia is a Kyokushin hotbed throughout the world. Beware the kicks here of Sapulyoshin.
Daniel Sapulyoshin in the blue corner. And now, ladies and gentlemen, a scorpion in the ring. He's 25 years old, 98 kilograms. Ladies and gentlemen, from Romania, the son of Dracula, Sebastian Ciobanu!
Call son of Dracula, Sebastian Ciobanu of Romania. Just the one fight in K1 against Sergei Lushenko. That was on August 11 last year, where he lost by a decision. Certainly an entertainer, Sebastian Ciobanu. He hails from the city of Iași in the Moldavia region here in Romania, which interestingly is also the home city of our other Romanian fighters here tonight, Catalin Moroșanu and Rau Catinas. Through the ropes goes the son of Dracula, Sebastian Ciobanu.
98 kilos, 188 centimeters. In the red corner, the son of Dracula, Sebastian Ciobanu. Este primul meci din sferturile piramidei.
A final inspection from our center referee, Sebastian Ciobanu, with a huge opportunity here tonight to fly that Romanian flag in September at the final 16 in Seoul, should he go all the way here tonight.
I must say this has nothing to do with this fight, but this girl walking through the ring is actually a ring girl signaling the round. It's just written on her back. For those of you who are confused, see why is this woman making circles without the cue card? It's a new style.
Very inventive here in Romania. Final instructions from our center referee. We are set for 3 by 3 minute rounds. 1 extra round in case of a draw. The 2 knockdown rule in 1 round is in application. Of course, in the final of our tournament, it is 3 knockdowns in 1 round and the fight is over. Sebastian Ciobanu, the sole representative in this 8-man tournament for Romania. Taking on, as I said, a real dark horse in Daniel Sapulyoshin. Michael Chavello, Mike Kogan with you, and Ciobanu gets airborne early on with a jump balking right hand. How long will it take? Not long at all for Sapulyoshin to start unloading his kicks.
Nice, he does it at a full range. He uses his length completely.
Left hook, outside thigh kick from Sapulyoshin. Left hook again from Sapulyoshin. Estonia, which is not really renowned as a tough country when it comes to kickboxing. Oh, and he gets tagged with the left hand, and this one could be over. The dark horse may be gone early. It is always the danger. Well, the corners come in here while the referee's still counting.
It's over.
It is over, but that was bad timing from the corner of Sebastian Ciobanu nonetheless. How about that? Sapulyoshin is out. It is always the danger of the Kyokushin fighters who come from a sport where head punches are not allowed, that they often drop their guard and get caught like that. Sebastian Chobanu pulls off what may very well be considered an upset here in the first quarterfinal.
Wow, that was really impressive. I mean, he cut the corner, came out swinging, and just landed just about every one of them. Devastating knockout. I mean, I could swear I saw, I can't pronounce his name.
Sapulyoshin.
Sapulyoshin. After the 8th count, he shook his head off like, no, I'm not ready to continue. Wow, that was very, very impressive.
And the thing is here, folks, that Sebastian Chobanu, the sole Romanian hope, will now be very fresh, as you'd want to be, because he takes on the winner of our next fight between Mighty Mo and Roman Clayball.
In the first round, after 47 seconds, the red corner, Sebastian Chobanu. Învingător prin knockout după 47 de secunde. Ciobanu se califică în semifinalele piramidei. Now the second quarter final. The first fighter comes from Czech Republic. 30 years old, 193 centimeters, 108 kilos. In the blue corner, from Czech Republic, Roman Clayball.
Roman Clayball from the Czech Republic makes his way to the ring for this second semi-final. The Czech Republic, who are looking to unearth a new K1 star there. Former star, of course, was Peter Bondricek, who did have some success at a regional level, but never really made it through to the top 16 in the world. Can Roman Clayball be the man to fly the Czech flag at the final 16?
His opponent was born in Samoa, but he lives in USA. He's one of the most powerful fighters in the world. For the second time in Romania, ladies and gentlemen, in the red corner from USA, Mighty Mo!
Sometimes you just feel tired, feel weak. When you feel weak, you feel like you want to just give up. But you gotta search within you. Try to find that inner strength and just pull that shit out of you.
makes his way to the ring. Coming off a loss last time out at Dream 13 against Josh Barnett, and an arm lock loss after that terrible groin strike we saw him incur. It hasn't been a good couple of years, though, for Mighty Mo. He's won only one of his last 8 contests, and that was back in 2008 in Hawaii against Justice Smith, who he knocked out in just 73 seconds in Honolulu. Of course, he has had success in these regional tournaments before. He was the 2-time K1 USA Grand Prix champion for the first time in Las Vegas in 2004, and then again in 2007 in Honolulu. Mighty Mo may not be in the best shape of his career, but certainly he does pack a lot of power in those hands.
135 de kilograme, 1,85 m. Al doilea sfert de final al piramidei.
Take your time, man. Take your time.
You can just hear the corner there of Mighty Mo saying, take your time, don't rush anything. It is going to be intriguing here to see how Roman Clable can protect his chin from the assault of Mighty Mo, particularly the overhand right of Mo, which is an absolute sledgehammer of a punch. Of course, it was the only punch in history to ever knock out the giant Hongman Choi. Also back in 2007 at the Yokohama Arena, when Mighty Mo connected with maybe the greatest overhand right in K1 history. Roman Clable, who is a little bit renowned for keeping his chin in the air, and that is certainly a recipe for disaster, fighting someone like Mighty Mo.
I mean, to beat Mo, you know, really he has to stay on the outside. He's got to stay really, really mobile, because Mo is, you know, as you said, he's not in the best of his shapes, and he's been a little slow. But if he gets that right overhand, it's over.
First round, quarterfinal number 2, Michael Chavallo, Mike Kogan with you. Wherever you're watching this show, folks, hope you're enjoying it all over the world, particularly our viewers on HDNet across North America who are seeing this tournament for the very first time live from Europe. We hope you're enjoying the show. Mo trying to close the gap, and a leaping left hook almost sends Clable over the top rope. And I tell you what, if you do spill over that top rope, there is quite a long drop down onto the arena floor here. And that's what Clable needs to do. Keep Mo at bay, use those front kicks, use the leg kicks, chop downstairs on Mo, slow him down. You kick the legs and the punches are going to be a lot slower.
But you got to move away from him in circles. You can't back straight up, because Mo will chase you down, and that's when he lands that overhand right and knocks you out. And that's what Clable hasn't been doing so far.
Outside leg kick from Clable. His hands are glued to his jawline at the moment, and wisely so. Inside thigh kick from Clable. Mo goes for an inside thigh kick of his own, never renowned as a kicker, Mighty Mo, and was telling me earlier on that he wants to take another big dig at mixed martial arts as he gets sent straight back with a right hand to the jawline. And Clable chooses to lock him up, whereas he should have perhaps unleashed on him with a few more punches.
I mean, that was his golden opportunity to actually possibly knock out Mighty Mo, because Mo was definitely on Queer Street.
You've got to figure that a tiny window like that, and Roman Clable may have just lost the opportunity to really capitalize there with 1 minute 15 remaining in the first round. But maybe throwing a right hand like that to Mo and backing the big man up will do wonders for the confidence here of Roman Clable.
Which could also be his downfall, because if, you know, Mo still has that punch.
Under a minute remaining now. It's been a good round for Roman Clable as he returns a leg kick. There's a lot more snapping. Really does dig the shin into the quadriceps on his leg kicks, does Clable. And I'm sure Mo, who maybe thought that Roman Clable may be easy pickings here, is showing a lot more respect for the Czech fighter now.
Yeah, much better head movement for Mo, but one thing that I'm starting to notice is that mouth is open. He's breathing heavy out of that mouth.
As I said earlier, Mo, who wants to give a really solid shake to the mixed martial arts world for the rest of this year, but also says that he would desperately like to get back in the good books of K1 and in the winner's circle and fly that American flag in the final 16 come September in Seoul. It has not been the first round that Mo wanted as he eats an uppercut off the right hand from Clable right on the bell, and you've got to lock that one away. 10-9 for Roman Clable.
He could have had a 10-8 if he would have just kept going with the punches instead of the clinch. Kind of gave Mo a little break and was able to regroup himself.
I wonder, Mike, if Roman was maybe surprised himself that he actually tagged Mo and maybe thought to himself, oh my God, did I actually just do that? What do I do now? And didn't have the experience to finish.
Or he might have thought that Mo is baiting him into coming after him and was going to come back and choose the safe route.
When Mo does a chicken dance backwards like that, he's not baiting anybody.
Well, you know, maybe one of the two. He was actually either just too inexperienced to finish it, or he thought that he was baiting him. But I think you're right. I think he was shocked, like, oh my God, did I just...
And look at Mo's hands. You see Mo's hands immediately down around his waist, and Roman Clable just failing to drill through again with that right hand. He could have thrown 6-8 punches in the corner and really had Mo in trouble. Even if not dropping Mo, the referee may have moved in to put a standing count on Mo. It's all speculation though now, Mike.
Exactly. But flip side to it, let's say he was baiting him in. He could have thrown an overhand right and ended the fight. He took the safer route. Mo is now visibly tired. He's slowing down. So I think Clable is going to take advantage of that here in the second round.
Mighty Mo, who, although he's only won one in his last 8, and his only K1 win over the last, well, 2.5 years has come back in 2008 in Honolulu against Justice Smith, was still considered here tonight as the favorite, along with Alexei Ignashov, for this tournament, particularly the favorite on side A of the draw. But Roman Clable, as we saw in the first round, has something to say about that. Here we go in the second. And Mo goes to the liver. There's an effective way to slow an opponent down, a good old-fashioned liver shot. And you see Mo, you can smell a lot more aggression behind the big Samoan here in the second. Clable cracks to the leg, Mo checks it.
Well, Mo's aggression was short-lived, and he doesn't seem to stop Clable one little bit.
Clable, whose confidence is certainly flowing at the moment. Fakes with a front kick. Checks the inside leg kick from Mo. I wonder if Clable's corner, we can't understand them in check, of course. I wonder if they're actually telling him, you had success with your hands in the first round. Let's go back to those hands. What he needs to do, though, is to set up that right cross once more with some leg kicks underneath first. There's a solid right hand again from Clable, and this time he charges in on Mo wisely and just corks with a right knee to the outside thigh.
Yeah, I'm sure his corner told him, you know, next time you have him backing up, and there's that right hand, overhand right, that if it lands.
The Hongman Choice smasher, the overhand right of Mighty Mo. I will never forget that one. 2007 at the Yokohama Arena.
Nice hook there from Mo. See, Mo's pairing that front kick. He's supposed to pair the front kick and come in with the overhand right, but it's not working for him, so.
There was a good left hand there from Mo, but just didn't turn the knuckles in. He caught Clable more so with the inside of the glove, and you can hear the corner of Mo constantly telling their charge, don't back up. You've got to keep coming forward, Mo. And gee, the Mo groin just seems to be a target these days, Mike. You must have the biggest set of testicles in the world, because everyone seems to go for them.
Either that or they just do it on purpose. I don't know, but I don't know how much more Mighty Mo's can take it.
You want medic? You want medic?
He said, do you want medic? I'm assuming that's Romanian for, do you want a doctor?
And Mo's like, huh? Dude, did you watch Dream 13?
Mo's like, I don't want medic. I want people to stop kicking my balls.
Mo's still got Josh Barnett's autograph on his right ball, Mike.
You know, I rewatched that, and Josh Barnett literally went front kick straight into the Mighty Mo's.
Oh, Mo's testicles were in his throat. It was a painful sight. As Mo gets a moment's recovery here.
I feel terrible, but I had to talk him back into going out there.
Mo, who's got about 13 kids. Wonder if that'll be the end of the Mo family after this one. So now the ringside physicians, who interestingly here in Romania are dressed in red instead of the white we usually see, the butcher's outfits in Japan. Having words with Mo And the old ice packs is going to get a shove down the groin region. This is the highlight of being a doctor in Romania, no doubt, getting to fondle the ball sack of Mighty Mo.
Well, not just in Romania, but doctors all around the world. And Mo is ready.
Okay.
Mo's okay. He doesn't need any ice. Back underway here in the second round. And a good three-punch combination there from Clable. It was a jab, right cross, left uppercut. The corner of Mo saying, throw the long left hook. I've got to agree. He's going to start going after some of those money shots. And Clable doing a very good job on the inside of pulling Mo close to him, locking up the body, which therefore locks up the arms and negates Mo's punches.
Including the long hook. Yeah, Clable is definitely, mastering this fight, and I think the stamina is a big factor. Mo is just visibly slower, much slower than even in the first round.
Mo, who has said very candidly, speaking to him yesterday for that youtube.com/K1 channel, that he's been partying a bit too much over the last year and he's been drinking a bit. And he says he wants to really recommit to his fighting career. He does fight for his family. It is a large family and he fights to support them. Recently remarried as well, so his love life has certainly got a new lease. But can he get a new lease on that all-important fight life, Mike? Because it's the bread and butter of Mighty Mo. And at the moment, it's not going to be a good payday unless he can start to find the target in the final round.
And unfortunately, it's also a cliche story that happens to all the fighters that have been in a game for too long. Somewhere along the line, they lose the hunger for training. They kind of take it easy a little bit, and then it's almost impossible to get back into it.
And you see here again, effectively, Clable just locks on, pulls the body of Mo close. There's nothing Mo can do when Clable negates him like that. You see Clable lands a right hand, pulls Mo in, and just negates Mo's ability to be able to throw any of those power salvos. It is a very cerebral fight from Roman Clable so far. And I've got to be the first one to admit it. I didn't think that Clable would fight this cleverly against Mo, but he's certainly shown authority in this fight with 1 round remaining. Mo's corner have got to stick the proverbial dynamite up his clacker for this final round. Because perhaps gone are the days when Mo can solely rely on a big overhand right to finish a fight.
Right, and I think once again, his biggest down, and once again, looks like he might have.
Well, referee putting a count here on Mo, and Mo's claiming groin strike. Referee says body shot, I'm sure, but Mo's looking at the ref going, what the F? He's trying to shake the junk back into place, and this is an interesting call by the referee to put a count here on Mo. Either way, it's going to swing very heavily in Clable's favour, and you feel that the only way that Mo is going to win this fight is to having to knock out Clable now in the final round. And again, Roman Clable pulling Mo in, negating Mo's hands.
Mo just needs to use that power and push him away and then come back with the punches of his own. But that requires stamina, which he obviously doesn't have anymore.
What he also needs to do, Mike, instead of wading in with his looping punches, which is allowing Clable to tie him up, lead him with the jab. Because as soon as you open yourself up with those looping punches, your midsection, your neck is exposed. So Clable can shoot in for the clinch and tie him up.
Well, that's what he's doing. That's exactly what he's doing.
If it's jabbing, it's a lot harder. Mo's got to set the right hand and the left hook with the jab first. You hear the corner of Mo saying you've got to muscle up a little bit. You've got to start bullying him here. But also, you will notice Mo is breathing up a storm out of his mouth here. He is depleting the oxygen levels at the Rome Expo Pavilion as he tags Clable with the best right hand we have yet seen from the Samoan. But Clable don't go down.
There's another one. There's another one.
Mo's going to go for broke now and try and drop him, and he does. Suddenly the tide has turned, and Clable is doing the chicken dance.
One more knockdown and this fight is over, and Mo can actually move into the semi-round.
One more knockdown for Clable as well. So it is now both men for the final 1 minute and 15 seconds. One more knockdown. Oh, the big boss! It's good night, Irene! Mighty Mo has done it. That overhand right that knocked out Hongman Choi, that 2 times won him the K1 USA Grand Prix, has set the Mo train on its happy path yet again.
Unbelievable. I mean, you want to talk about a Cinderella story. We had him written off. Oh, he's tired. Oh, he's this. After taking 2 shots to the Mighty Mo's, he comes back with devastating right hand, which finds its target finally here in almost at the end of the 3rd round.
This is why Mighty Mo was considered one of the 2 favorites in this tournament. This is exactly how he steamrolled his way to 2 K1 USA Grand Prix titles, particularly at the Neil Blaisdell Arena in Honolulu back in 2007. I was there ringside for that one. I remember how Mo just put the lights out on every opponent with that devastating overhand right.
His name is Mighty Mo, USA.
And with that, Mighty Mo now sets up a marquee semi-final number 1 against Sebastian Chobanu, who finished off Daniil Sapil-Joshin in just 47 seconds. Here it is again, Mo swinging with the left. There's the overhand right, caught him on what we call the button, on the temple. There's 2 places to box a man that will really drop him. It's on the temple or on the chin. And Mo caught Clable on the temple beautifully. Boom, with the overhand right again. Good night, Irene. Roman Clable.
Mo really hustled for that 2nd knockdown. I mean, he just really wanted to, and it's great to see that.
Beautiful power here from Mo. The aggressometer went through the roof in that final round. Boom! Farewell.
Al treilea sfert de finală, doamnelor și domnilor. The quarterfinal, number 3. In the blue corner, we have a fighter from Lithuania. He's 25 years old, 193 centimeters, 102 kilos. Winner of K1 Lithuania 2010. Ladies and gentlemen, in the blue corner from Lithuania, Mindaugas Sakalauskas.
Muay Thai machine, Mindaugas Sakalauskas, makes his way to the ring. We first saw him in Lodz, Poland last year when he lost an extra round decision to Zambit Samadov. On April 10 in Lithuania, in the K1 World Grand Prix in Vilnius, the nation's capital, he won the tournament with wins over Rogava Tsosteny, Toro Todorov and Andrei Balkan all in one night. Out of Team MMA Bushido with Donata Simonides in his corner, the man who also manages the likes of Maria Soromskas and Artur Kashenko.
The next fighter comes from Belarus. He's 32 years old, 196 centimeters, 117 kilos. Ladies and gentlemen, we have here a scorpion, a red scorpion. Ladies and gentlemen, in the red corner from Belarus,
the Scorpion, Alexei Ignashov. And here is the million-dollar question. Which Ignashov will shape up here tonight? Will it be the old killer, who is a former multi-winner in K1 Regional Grand Prix tournaments, who was the French champion K1 World Grand Prix 2003 in Paris, the Nagoya champion back in 2001, the European champion in 2001, the Russian K1 champion in 2001. In his recent fight against Badahari, in his return to K1, it was very disappointing. So the final look over here from our centre referee, Alexei Ignashov, who is considered, along with Mighty Mo, as the other favourite in this tournament. And given his extensive credentials as a tournament specialist, rightly so. But once again, you've got to wonder what sort of shape, not only physically, but mentally and emotionally, is Alexei in here tonight. He's had a very well-reputed battle with the bottle over the last few years. He says that he stopped drinking as of that last fight against Badahari, that he'd been clean for about 3 or 4 months. Some rumours did emerge that maybe he'd had a return to the drink after that loss to Badahari in Yokohama. And certainly the head of FEG, Mr. Tanagawa, telling Ignashov, after being disappointed in Alexei's performance in Yokohama, that this is really his last chance to prove himself in K1. Here we go, first round, quarterfinal number 3. Michael Chevello, Mike Kogan with you. And Ignashov opens up strongly with the hands. He is usually a counter fighter, as we saw agonizingly so against Badahari last time out. He needs to be on the offense here tonight, does Alexei. Man who once knocked out Badahari, man who once knocked out Semi Schultz, among so many others. Produced one of the greatest K1 knockouts of all time back at the Tokyo Dome in 2001 when he shattered the nose of Nicholas Pettis. It was devastating. Good body shot there from Alexei. He's a big unit at 6'5", 257 pounds. A Muay Thai stylist, a multiple former Muay Thai world champion in the WMC, which is the most coveted Muay Thai sanctioning body in the world, and also with the ISKA.
Nice leg check there from Ignashov. He's doing all right so far. He's going to the body a lot. I guess trying to slow down Sakalauskas and maybe take some of his stamina out.
For Sakalauskas, a real step up here as he eats a right hand and gets dropped. Beautiful right hand, smack bang to the kisser from Alexei. And this is just the start that the Red Scorpion wanted. 1 minute 40 remains on the clock. One more knockdown, there's still a lot of time to do it, and this one is over. And Alexei is going for it. Locks on the Muay Thai clinch, can't get the knee off though.
And you know what, Mike? That's what we did not see out of Ignashov in the Badahari fight, his desire to finish. He was fighting not to lose.
Exactly, we saw no offense. Referee moves in here. And it's over. Referee's got to call this one off. That's a second count. This one's over. Referee not recognizing it. This fight is over.
7, 8.
It is over. Now he calls it. Well, Mindaugas Sakalauskas saying he can go on, but under K1 rules, 2 knockdowns in the quarterfinal or the semi-final in 1 round, and the fight is over. So Alexei Ignashov makes short work of Mindaugas Sakalauskas, which thankfully, Mike, I do not have to say that name anymore tonight.
I know I can pronounce Ignashov. I was a little shocked this referee decided to count to the end and then go, oh, by the way, it's over. Just wanted to see if I can count to 8, I guess. Very impressive Ignashov.
And you get a shot
against the good Sakalauskas. I mean, he's no Badahari, but probably his most impressive victory to date in his last 5 fights.
Sakalauskas is no slouch, as I said, coming off that win in Vilnius only a month and a half ago. Let's have a look at it again here. Ignashov fires the right hand to the jawline, beautifully timed. Sakalauskas doing a quick count of his teeth. And here's the second and final knockdown. Boom, with the right. Down he went. Just sensational work from Alexei Ignashov. It is what we did not see against Badahari. And you've got to wonder, Mike, you've got to ask that question yet again. What if we'd seen this Alexei against Badahari at Yokohama a couple of months ago?
Well, then he might have been a different fight. He definitely wouldn't be in this tournament. He would have been qualified because the K1 CEO did say that if he beats Badahari, he'll go straight to the final 16. Obviously, they didn't happen, so he's here in the tournament. But
in the red corner,
now he's in the tournament.
the red scorpion.
And this was
Alexei
probably the best Ignashov we've seen. But what's
KO
also
in the
impressed me the
first
most is
round
that he
after
finished
1
it in the
minute
first
and,
round. He sent a message to the rest of the tournament guys, hey, this is the real Ignashov here tonight.
And coming up next, quarterfinal number 4, Sergei Lashenko. It takes on the flying Frenchman, Freddie Kamaya.
We'll be right back with more as HDNet presents K1 World GP 2010 in Bucharest. Welcome back as HDNet presents K1 World GP 2010 in Bucharest.
In the blue corner, we have a fighter from France. He fought many times in Romania. He's 28 years old, 103 kilos, 188 centimeters. Ladies and gentlemen, from France, an old friend of us, Freddie Kemayo!
Est-ce que tu piges? Sang, sueur, depuis des piges. C'est vers les sommets qui se dirige. Il faut qu'on gîte, un de prodige. Il veut sa place.
The flying Frenchman, Freddie Kamaya, makes his way to the ring. A veteran of the European Muay Thai and kickboxing scene, 3 and 4 in K1. He's a good-sized unit too at 6'2", 229 pounds, and it's quite a different sight to see Freddie here tonight without his trademark dreadlocks that he's chosen to shave off. Comes off back-to-back wins, but they were back in 2008 in the K1 arena against Sergei Gur and Katalin Morashanu. Also has a win over Nobu Hayashi, who we are sad to say is still struggling in his battle with leukemia. Nobu Hayashi, who Freddie Kamaya knocked out back in 2005. Always flashy is the Frenchman from the Falcon Gym. Good range of spinning kicks and jumping round kicks and flying knees. Not the most powerful fighter to ever grace a K1 ring, but certainly technically one of the most talented and always full of heart and full of flash.
Freddie Kemayo. His opponent comes from Ukraine. 191 centimeters, 100 kilograms. He lost in front of the Romanian fighter Daniel Ghiță last year. Ladies and gentlemen, in the red corner from Ukraine, Sergei Lashenko!
The Cinderella story of the 2009 K1 European Grand Prix, Sergei Lashenko. We first saw him grace the K1 ring in Lodz, Poland last year. We're only 24 hours before fighting in that tournament. He had won the European Muay Thai Championships in a whole different country. Then he drove some 8 hours to Poland, stepped in the ring, defeated Noel Cadet by knockout, defeated Dmitry Bezos by knockout before losing to Zabit Samedov in the final. Comes off a win over Takumi Sato last time out in Yokohama in April.
Sergei Lashenko.
Lashenko, his manager Donatas Simonitis tells us he has trimmed down some 7 kilograms since that fight in April against Takumi Sato, where he weighed 122 kg. Tonight he weighed in at 115. It has always been the question mark of Sergei Lashenko. Not that he has power, not that he has technique. He's got both of those, but it's the fuel tank that is coming to question time and time again.
His trainer said for this fight, he trained 3 times a day and did cardio workouts. He said he had a knee surgery. He had a knee injury for the last fight, and he couldn't run at all, which is why his stamina was really questioned. But Mike, I don't know if that's just a bunch of excuses, because every fight he seems to have stamina issues, and there's some story behind it. This time they said nothing. He's 100%. So let's see what happens now.
Freddie Cameo, who always comes in tip-top shape, and we are ready for quarterfinal number 4. The winner will take on a rampaging Alexei Ignashov in semi-final number 2. 3-by-3, 1 extra round in case of a draw. 2 knockdown rule in 1 round is in application. All part of the K1 European Grand Prix here in Bucharest, Romania. Michael Chevello and Mike Kogan with you. Look out for the big thumping leg kicks of Sergei Lashenko, and look out for the flashy business of Freddie Cameo. Lashenko, who fights to support his younger brother, also fights for his love of pigeons. Says he wants to own a whole flock of pigeons, if that's the right terminology. I'm not too sure about pigeon owners, but a love of pigeons. Once he wins the K1 Grand Prix one day, he says he'll buy himself a whole flock of pigeons. Mike Tyson style. Outside leg kick there from Cameo, and a nice straight right hand to the breadbasket. Lashenko cannot afford to let Freddie find his rhythm here. Good outside thigh kick from Freddie Cameo. And again, tenderizing that lead leg. It looks to me early on that Freddie knows the recipe is to slow down Lashenko with the leg kicks and with the body shots. To maybe try and work on that fuel tank.
Yeah, I think so far he's been very good at doing that. You know, I listened to Lashenko's interview before this fight, and he said he wanted to block the leg kicks and use more of his hands. But it looks like Freddie's been able to suck him into a leg kick contest here, which may not end well for Lashenko. I mean, every one of the fights he's lost is because his leg has given up, aside from his stamina.
Lashenko does have quite a sizable weight differential at 245. Cameo at 229. Good sweeping leg kick there from Lashenko, and the crowd certainly appreciating it. Cameo does have good support behind him. He has fought several times here in Romania as he tags him with a nice straight to the jawline, and that's better combination work from Sergei Lashenko.
Now Lashenko is saying what he said he was going to do, so maybe he's just a slow starter, but he seems to be coming into his own here.
Lashenko, who has been given some very good opportunities in K1's upper level in such a short time, thanks in no small part to being managed by Donatas Simonitis. One of the most well-connected managers in all of K1. Good outside thigh kick there from Cameo. Cameo looking to control centering and keep Sergei on the outside, and that lead leg is taking an absolute flogging. Sergei's got to continue to check those, but more so he's got to continue to move and not just remain a stagnant target and flat-footed in front of Cameo. Final 10 seconds of the opening round. The timing, the distance, not quite there yet with the hands of Lashenko as he pulls the head down. One final wrench, looking for the meet and greet knee. 1 round down, 2 remaining.
Yeah, a bit of a disappointing round for Lashenko. I expected a lot more out of him. You know, the good thing is he doesn't look tired at the end of this round, but the bad thing is he's been taking repeated leg kicks. He's deviated from his game plan, which was supposed to be to block the leg kicks and then come in more with the hands in this fight. So let's see, you know, if he'll adjust it in the second round. But, you know, just judging from, I mean, we can just see it from here. His legs are getting the welts on him. They're just really starting to look bad.
As we see some of the action as it went down, you've got to ask the question also that even if Lashenko would go through here, the punishment he has taken already in 1 round to that lead leg is absolutely insane. And how is that going to augur should he go through and face Alexei Ignashov? Because you do not want to square up against Iggy with a banged up leg. Not in the form we have seen Ignashov in thus far here tonight. Second round of 3. Unofficially, we will give the first round to Freddie Cameo. There is a little bit of a welt under the right eye of Cameo, courtesy of the cross we saw from Lashenko, but nothing that will really faze the Frenchman. Speaking of Frenchmen, Jerome Lebena is in the crowd here tonight with our many other VIPs as Cameo with a jumping knee, and he's opened up this round like a house of fire. Down goes Lashenko. Freddie Cameo pounced on him.
Started off with a high kick that landed. When you were talking about Lebena, the high kick landed and he just followed it up.
Explosive stuff here from Cameo. One more knockdown and it's all over in this round, and still with 2 minutes 30 to work it for Freddie Cameo. Will we see another upset here? Lashenko came in as the third favorite in this tournament behind Ignashov and Mighty Mo. And now it's time for Lashenko to really go to work. He rips away to the body. Front kick from Cameo, overhand right from Lashenko.
Lashenko needs a KO in this fight to win this fight. Unfortunately, there's nothing else he's going to do because this is a 10-8 round guaranteed.
Catch and sweep, beautiful Muay Thai execution. Not permitted though. Under K1 rules, won't score for him, and gets a little bit of a warning there from our center referee. Good lead right hand, outside leg kick, and there is a huge purple bruise on that lead leg of Lashenko, like a kaleidoscope. Cameo just in control here halfway through the second stanza. Threads the jab through the guard, fires a front kick to the midsection.
Total domination by Cameo in this fight. I mean, this is the worst Lashenko we've probably seen. Even when he was out of breath, he fought better.
You've got to wonder what happened to that killer instinct that he seemed to have last year, Lashenko. When he knocked out Noel Cadet, when he knocked out Dimitri Bezos, then on August 11 in Tokyo, when he defeated Chobanu, when he knocked out Bryce Guidon. But since then, that killer instinct has seemed to have gone. It doesn't look like he's come close to finishing anyway. Yeah, certainly he defeated Takumi Sato last time out, but he did not come close to finishing Sato at any time during that fight.
No, I mean, it was basically just two people that ran out of gas and he was just a little fresher. But you're right, that killer instinct is not there. The guy we saw in Lodz that we fell in love with, and you know, and you labeled him the Cinderella story. He's definitely not living up to his billing. I mean, not in this fight. You know, Freddie's visibly quicker, much more technical. He's employing his strategy. You know, he's just doing everything perfect.
Jab 2 from Lashenko. Jab 2 again, but nothing getting through. Nice to see Cameo tucking that jawline, looking through his brow. And again, Lashenko just persistent with that 1-2 combination, but you feel he's going to change it up, though, in the third round, because this is certainly Freddie's fight so far. Look how relaxed Cameo is in the corner. And the concern you can see in the corner of Lashenko.
Well, why wouldn't Cameo be relaxed? I mean, he's completely dominating his fight. There's basically no offense left from Lashenko. He was visibly slow in the second round, courtesy of the leg kicks. He's probably going to be even slower in the third round, and that's just disappointing. To me, it is. I mean, I expected a lot more out of him in this round, in this fight.
Cameo, who just opened up with the heavy artillery early on in that round, and nothing was really working for Sergei Lashenko.
But now Lashenko does have some power in those punches, so, you know, you never know. I mean, Mighty Mo was losing a fight and ended up with 2 knockdowns in 30 seconds apart. So it might happen from Lashenko, but as you mentioned, I just don't see that killer desired skill.
The difference is that Mighty Mo is an expert veteran in finishing fights, and unfortunately Sergei does not have that experience as a finisher. Third and final round. It is now all for Sergei Lashenko to do. Checks the low kick. Nice body shot from Lashenko. Can he maintain this control of center ring? And you just see how Cameo just pegs his way back to the center of the ring, and now the Frenchman forces Lashenko to the outside. It's really beautiful strategy here from Freddie Cameo. And again, you see Lashenko edge forward, trying to push Cameo back against the ropes. Give it a moment though. Cameo will edge forward again to the center of the ring. It's just very smart ring nous from Freddie Cameo as he fires up the high left round kick, takes a kick to the back leg. Jab 2 from Freddie, and just like that, boom, he's back on the center logo again. It's ringmanship, it's experience here from Cameo.
Yeah, I mean, total ring control from Cameo. Lashenko is, you know, visibly a little more active. But look, it's almost like Cameo is letting him do it, and then when he needs to, he just takes right over.
Catch and sweep there from Lashenko. Referee wipes off the gloves of Cameo. Lashenko just persistent with this 1-2, and as I said in the previous round, it just hasn't worked for him. He's got to get a little bit more inventive than just the jab right cross. Cameo, meanwhile, is fighting another smart round. He is not overexerting himself. He knows that he is well ahead on the judges' scorecards, and he doesn't want to absorb too much punishment. Doesn't want to drain his own gas tank as he is looking towards a very fresh Ignashov in the semi-final.
No, Cameo's looking for a finish here. I think he just picked him up. That was very acrobatic. Cameo's just picking him apart with those leg kicks. I mean, he goes high to the rib cage, drops low, hits the hips, the back leg, the inner thigh. I mean, he's all over the place.
Let us tell you the simple mathematic of this one, folks. Lashenko will not win unless he knocks out Freddie Cameo. It will not be another fairy tale run for Lashenko unless he can produce a fairy tale shot in the next half a minute. The jab 2 won't do it for him, though.
30 seconds left. I mean, it's just hands down now. You got to throw down. Forget everything. You got to throw down. You have nothing left to lose.
Lashenko's got to ask himself, how badly does he want that ticket to the final 16? How badly does he want that flock of pigeons? Inside leg kick from Cameo. Axe kick. How about that? How about the audacity and the confidence of Freddie Cameo to throw an axe kick in the final 10 seconds? We will see Cameo go through to the semi-final against Alexei Ignashov. And I've got to say, a very disappointing performance from Sergei Lashenko, who coming in once again was the third favorite for the tournament behind Ignashov and Mighty Mo. Jab 2 was pretty much all Lashenko threw in the second and the third round. He's left his leg kicks at home, and Cameo just knew that he just needed to keep putting the points down, not overexerting. He once went for a knockout shot, which you see here, a jumping knee off the double clinch, but that was the only time he tried to finish Lashenko in the third round. I've seen a lot of Freddie Cameo over the years, Mike, and it was a very cerebral, a very smart fight from Freddie.
Oh, I mean, very smart, very technical, but also very diverse. I mean, just these leg kicks alone have probably went everywhere from the rib cage down to the waist side, inner thighs, outer thighs. I mean, very masterful fight. But look at our matchups. It's just beautiful. We got Alexei Ignashov fighting Freddie, the Muay Thai leg kickers.
2-0.
And there it is.
Two power punchers.
Freddie Cameo rounds out the quarterfinals. It will be semi-final number 1. Sebastian Chobanu takes on Mighty Mo. Semi-final number 2. Alexei Ignashov takes on Freddie Cameo. And folks, coming up next, we move into a super fight. And then more action from the K1 World Grand Prix European Tournament. And folks, coming up next, the much anticipated return of the USA's former K1 USA Grand Prix champion Carter Williams taking on the animal Raul Catinas.
Acum ultimul super fight al acestei serii înaintea semifinalelor, doamnelor și domnilor. In the blue corner, I present you the youngest fighter of this event. Urcă în ring cel mai tânăr luptător al acestei gale. I'm talking about the Romanian fighter, Raul
Been a long time. Been a long time coming. It's life or death with me now. But you know, there's no turning back now. This is what makes me. This is what I am. Feel me? Let's go. You can hate me now. QB. But I won't stop now. Real niggas, I can't stop.
The animal, Raul Cardenas. Only 21 years old. Have a look at the mug on this guy. He is an absolute powerhouse. I remember him in Lodz last year when he knocked out the monstrous Przemysław Minkinia in 90 seconds of the extra round. This man packs hellacious power.
22 years old, 183 centimeters, 105 kilos. He won against Stefan Leko in 2009. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from USA, I present you the next winner of K1 Las Vegas in 2003. Ladies and gentlemen, in the red corner, from USA, Carter!
Anticipated return of a K1 USA superstar, Carter Williams. Back in the day, this man was a monster. Winner of the K1 USA Grand Prix in Las Vegas in 2003. Former WKA North American Super Heavyweight Champion. But we haven't seen him in K1 since 2006. He struggled with cocaine. He says he's cleaned himself up and he is ready for his second shot at K1 glory representing the Fairtex team. It will be interesting to see what Carter Williams brings after an almost 4-year absence from the K1 ring. If there is a big question mark dangling over this fight, it has to be how will Carter's chin hold up against the brute power in the hands of Raul Cardenas.
And that's probably the one thing that, you know, we're going to find out here early on, because Cardenas will come out swinging. I actually watched Carter train, because I train out of a Fairtex gym. And, you know, Carter's been trained really hard for this fight, trained some strength and conditioning with a Fairtex strength and conditioning guy. His name is Omar Lima. He's a great, great guy. I mean, he puts people through brutal, brutal workouts. So Carter's conditioning should be good. You know, he said he's ready. He's still relatively young. He's only 31 years old. So the question is just his chin, and is it going to hold up?
At a period when the US is really looking for a genuine K1 star. I mean, Mighty Mo is in there, but as we said, he's only won 1 of his last 8 fights, now 2 of his last 9, of course, winning earlier on tonight. Bob Sapp never really cut it as a top-level star. They're looking to return to the glory days of Maurice Smith and the Rufuses when they used to rule the kickboxing roost, of course. They never ruled the K1 roost. But Carter Williams is the man over the last few years who probably came very close to being one of the upper echelon US fighters, especially when he won that championship in Vegas back in 2003, and he was considered such a marketable world beater with a full repertoire of technique, which is very rare in American kick fighters.
No elbow. Okay.
3 by 3 minute rounds, one extra round in case of a draw. 3 knockdown rule in 1 round is in application. Most people think this will not go the distance. 21-year-old Raul Cartinas versus Carter Williams, who is 30 years old. Michael Chavello, Mike Kogan with you. Romania versus the USA. Let's see the return of Carter Williams. Big leg kick. He does have those massive thighs, does Carter.
The key for Carter Williams is his mobility like he had in 2003. If he has that mobility back and he doesn't stand in front of Raul to take those big punches, I think he can win this fight. And so far, he's doing a pretty good job there with head movement.
Big leg kicks from Raul Cartinas. Carter, who's had a few fights recently, and he gets dropped early here. Not the start he wanted, and he's smiling, saying, okay. Wasn't really that tough of a knockdown, ref. But he's had a few fights recently where leg kicks have been the problem, his failure to check leg kicks. And you can see it always going to the legs very early on here in this fight. Oh, left hook from Cartinas. Williams goes down for a second time. He should get to his feet here. He's going to ride the 8 count. And one more knockdown and it's over. And there's still 1:45 on the clock. Can Raul Cartinas finish the return of Carter Williams? The 21-year-old comes on strong again. And Williams in a whole lot of bother. He is still blinking heavily on that left eye is Carter Williams.
He's got to get more mobile. He can't just stand there in front of Raul.
Catch and sweep from Carter, not permitted under these rules. And the mouth guard has been dislodged of Raul Cartinas. I told you Cartinas was an absolute monster, an animal. He's also from the Moldavia region in the city of Iași here in Romania. As is Cătălin Mureșanu. As is Sebastian Ciobanu. Left hook there from Cartinas. Is this it? It's good night, Irene. The return of Carter Williams is not to be. Raul Cartinas has ended the comeback of the former K1 USA champion. In only his 3rd K1 fight, Raul Cartinas has taken out his biggest name yet. Mike, your thoughts there on the performance of Carter?
Well, unfortunately, you know, Raul was just too much for him. I mean, you know, he took some body shots that dropped him. And I think his strategy in the fight was coming in was wrong. You know, you cannot stand in front of a power puncher like that. You know, you got to move. And Carter used to be pretty mobile back in his heydays, I guess. You know, I mean, I can't say I'm disappointed. He didn't really show much of a performance here. It was more or less a one-sided fight.
Raul Cartinas, who is certainly a promising fighter and another Romanian star in the making. As Carter Williams also gave him the thumbs up for his continued career. Catch and sweep there from Carter. But as Mike said, a little too flat-footed, standing in front of Raul Cartinas. Maybe some flashes of just what a beast Carter was in 2003, but when you've had a long layoff of 4 or so years from the K1 ring and you return against an animal like Raul Cartinas, you've got to move, you've got to circle. You cannot take punches like those. It wasn't the hardest of knockdowns, but as I said earlier, there is always that question mark over Carter's jaw, Mike. There always has been, there always will be.
Yeah, but most of these knockdowns came from body shots. You know, and when you get hit in the body and you fall to your knees, I mean, you know, you can't say it's a slip-up. I mean, that's a knockdown. You know, it's just that simple. You know, a little disappointed, but hopefully he'll live to fight another day.
And folks, coming up next, It will be the first semi-final of the European Grand Prix.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
And you know they'll be replaying this knockout over and over and over again here in Romania. But coming up next, it will be the son of Dracula, Sebastian Ciobanu, taking on Mighty Mo as once again, Romania versus the USA.
Și acum semifinalele. Now the semifinals, ladies and gentlemen. The first fighter won by KO in the first round versus Danil Saplioshin. I'm talking about the Romanian fighter who comes in the blue corner, Sebastian Ciobanu!
Sebastian Ciobanu makes his way to the ring for the second time tonight. Earlier on, he knocked out the dark horse, Danil Saplioshin, in only 47 seconds. Ciobanu, who is the freshest man going into the semi-finals, has the enviable task of taking on Mighty Mo. What an upset it would be if Ciobanu's momentum could take him past Mo. Through the ropes goes the big caped one. You're going to love a man in the cape. And that man is Sebastian Ciobanu.
Romania. His opponent won also by KO in the round number 3 versus Roman Kleibel, Czech Republic. Ladies and gentlemen, from USA, in the red corner, Mighty Mo!
The familiar sight of Mighty Mo stomping his way to another K1 Regional Grand Prix semi-final. He was almost taken out of proceedings by Roman Kleibel in his quarterfinal earlier on tonight, before Mo suddenly found the connection with the punches in the third round and knocked out Kleibel. Will Mo's big overhand right and left hook, for years a very feared weapons in K1, carry him to victory again against an inexperienced opponent. Mighty Mo, a two-time winner of the K1 USA, Mike.
I don't know what it is, but something about the way the Samoans come in the ring is just cool. You know, Mark Hahn, him, Ray, maybe it's just because they're such a towering, just massive, I don't know what it is, but they just look cool.
This one is going to be epic. The son of Dracula, Sebastian Ciobanu, from the region of Moldavia, the city of Iași here in Romania.
And the son of
takes on Mighty Mo.
Samoa.
You've got to wonder what effect the punishment that Mo took, particularly to his legs in that quarterfinal against Roman Kleibel, will now come to the fore against Ciobanu.
I see a slugfest. I see a who's going to land that devastating punch right here. And as soon as at the bell ring, I'm seeing Mo coming with that right hand. And I see
Ciobanu getting airborne.
Ciobanu is just getting airborne.
Look at the stare down.
Coming, you know, he's just,
Look at the stare down here.
Thank you.
Ciobanu could beat a statue at a staring contest. We are ready for 3-by-3. One extra round in case of a draw.
He's not really Dracula's son, is he?
You may be. We're going to visit the Dracula castle
Dracula
tomorrow.
had a-
We'll find out the genealogy of
You
the
are going to
Dracula
visit.
family.
I'm going back home. Let me know how Dracula is doing.
Here we go, first round. Michael Chevello, Mike Kogan with you. Look out for Mighty Mo. Left hook, overhand right. Ciobanu just trying to tenderize the legs of Mo. Mo goes to the liver early on. He was very slow out of the gates against Cable earlier on tonight, was Mighty Mo. He does not want to waste time here. He wants to get to that final berth very quickly. Big outside leg kick from Chobanu. And goes to the inside lead thigh of Mo.
Good strategy from Chobanu. You know?
Oh, the big kibosh! The big kibosh! The big kibosh! This place has gone bananas! The son of Dracula, the Romanian! Can Mo make it to his feet?
Okay.
He's on rubber legs. He's still not all there. Chobanu has knocked him down in the opening 50 seconds, and Romania has come alive. Wow, Mighty Mo was caught with the sweetest knee you will ever see.
Don't count him out. Mighty Mo got up and went straight for that overhand right. He might still land it, but as I predicted, this fight is not gonna, they're not gonna dance around too long. They're gonna slug it out.
Mighty Mo. What is going through his mind at the moment? Has he fully recovered here, the American? He throws a left hook, and Chobanu did what Cable did earlier tonight. When Mo comes in, locks him up, body to body, negates the hands.
Well, I think Mo's doing some clinching of his own because I don't think he's fully recovered yet.
Chobanu, leg kick. Mo tries to counter off it with an overhand right. Who would have thunk it? Mighty Mo being dropped by Sebastian Chobanu, a man who before tonight had only had one K1 fight, and that was a loss to Sergei Lashenko. Glancing overhand right from Mo. Going for the headache maker. Chobanu pulls him against the ropes.
Mo leads with his head when he starts to throw that lead hook, and that's how he landed that knee. If he times, he's going to land a knee again. Mo really needs to stop ducking his head down when he's coming in with that lead hand. Watch, every time he comes in with a lead hook, he dives his head down.
Chobanu eats a left hand from Mo, and Mo's hurt here. He goes down for a second time.
That's it. There is no second time.
Well, that's it. It is over. Good call, Mike.
Second time.
This one's finished. 2 counts. It's over. Referee's going to still ride the count here. Chobanu has caused the upset. Listen to this ovation. Scenes of pandemonium here in Bucharest. Sebastian Chobanu. And the son of Dracula did it as the son of Dracula should. He went through the throat. Fittingly for a vampire. Go for the jugular, son. Wow.
So what are the medics there for? Did he cut him or something?
I think he hit him in the throat, Mike, and Mighty Mo had trouble breathing.
Oh.
2 knockdown rule. It was all over. Chobanu goes through to the final, and the amazing thing is, Mike, he finished Sapoliyoshin in 47 seconds. He finished Mo in, what was it, about 2 minutes or so?
Minute 25, I think, left before the end of the round.
Okay,
so.
it's pretty much taken him 3 minutes to go through 2 guys so far tonight, which means
if he may be on in the first minute and a half,
may be on par for a world record.
Daniel Guita, he might beat his record.
Not Daniel Guita. Jerome Labana in Osaka holds the official record just a little bit faster than Daniel Guita did last year in August.
Really? Okay,
yes.
I'll...
And interestingly though, Mike, both Daniel Guita and Jerome Labana are here in the audience tonight.
Why is that interesting?
Because 2 men who hold the 2 fastest invisible. And Mike Hogan has the word smartass written across his forehead at the moment. So Mighty Mo is finally back to his feet, and Sebastian Chobanu is through to the final.
Winner by KO in the first round after 2 minutes and 24 seconds, the Romanian fighter, Sebastian Chobanu.
So Chobanu, to a massive ovation, is the first man through to the final. And folks, coming up next, it will be Alexei Ignashov taking on the flashy Frenchman, Freddie Camayo. Let's take a look at it again here. Chobanu just explosive in that round. There was the first knockdown, the high knee. Straight left left hand from Mo, and he got caught and couldn't breathe. And that was the second time he went down, and that is game over for Mighty Mo. So it has officially taken 3 minutes and 11 seconds for Sebastian Ciobanu to go through 2 opponents so far. He is on course for a world record, depending on how he goes in the final. Brilliant effort from the son of Dracula here in Bucharest. As we see once more, Mo waiting in here. Now it looks like the kick, the front kick off the left leg was nicely done. It caught him, maybe the toes caught Mo on the throat and affected his breathing immediately, and Mo went down. Mo maybe not realizing he'd gone down for the second time, and that under tournament rules in the quarterfinals or the semifinals, 2 knockdowns in 1 round, and it's all over. Folks, coming up next, Alexei Ignashov, who knocked out Mindaugas Sakalauskas in the first round, takes on the flashy Frenchman, Freddie Kameo.
We'll be right back with more as HDNet presents K1 World GP 2010 in Bucharest. Welcome back as HDNet presents K1 World GP 2010 in Bucharest.
The next semi-final. The first fighter won by KO in quarterfinals against Mindaugas Sakalauskas from Lithuania. I'm talking about the Red Scorpion. In the blue corner from Belarus, Alexei Ignashov!
Ignashov, the Red Scorpion, the man who was formerly one of the most dominant fighters in K1 history. During his peak times of 1999 to 2003, there were few men who could share the heavyweight ring in Muay Thai or K1 with this man. Then, of course, his well-documented battle with alcoholism over the last few years. He only got clean recently. Had that fight against Badahari in Yokohama. Did not impress, but he certainly has impressed earlier on tonight against Sakalauskas in the quarterfinal number 3, knocking him out in just 1 round.
The next fighter won by points in quarterfinals against Sergei Lashchenko from Ukraine. Ladies and gentlemen, in the red corner from France, Freddie
Flashy Freddie Kameo from the Falcon Gym in France pulled off an upset earlier on tonight when he took out the 3rd tournament favourite Sergei Lashchenko in a cerebral fight of superior speed, angles, footwork and technique. A little bit of bandaging you see here around the right shin of Kameo. He does look to be favouring that left leg a little as he walks to centre ring here. You've got to wonder what damage was sustained against Lashchenko earlier on. It will take another smart fight here from Freddie Kameo to defeat Ignashov. You know know, a lot can be said by a fighter by the way they look when they come to the ring. Kameo does not look as confident this time as he did coming to the ring against Lashenko. Meanwhile, as I glance up at Ignashov in center ring, he looks supremely confident. It's not the Ignashov we saw against Badahari and Yokohama in March. It is the look of Ignashov from 2000. It's the look of a man who goes, this is easy. This is easy pickings. I'm too good for this. I rule this. I own this. That's the look that Ignashov has on his face. It's a look that us Iggy fans have been praying for years and years, and it seems to be back, at least so far here tonight.
And the Dracula nurse will point out that it's round 1.
She will indeed, with round 2 on her back and round 1 in her hand.
Hey, 1, 2.
Freddie Kameo, brilliant performance against Sergei Lashenko earlier on tonight. And look at the ice-cold, dead eyes of Alexei Ignashov, former world's Muay Thai champion, former K1 French champion, Nagoya champion, Russian champion, 3rd place at the World Grand Prix in 2001. Former ISKA World Champion, WMC World Champion. There are a few titles that Alexei Ignashov hasn't won. The most glaring, of course, is the K1 Grand Prix World title itself, which you know he desperately wants. The height and reach goes the way of Iggy. 6'5", 257 pounds of the Belarusian. This one will be a classic. Kameo bouncing up and down on the balls of his feet. The Frenchman is ready to explode. He will hope for a slow starting Ignashov. It has not been the case so far here tonight. Michael Chavello, Mike Kogan with you. Ignashov checks the inside thigh kick. Up to the liver section off the lead leg goes Kameo. Look out for that beautiful straight line punching of Ignashov, particularly the way he turns the knuckles through, rolls over the shoulder, pivots on the front foot, drills the hips through on the straight right hand.
I was going to say, that's some powerful jabs there coming from Ignashov.
Look at the Muay Thai clinch and knee early on. Ignashov makes it look so easy. Often looks like he's half asleep in the ring. It was his trademark back in the day, where you just thought to yourself, God, does this guy even consider this a fight? He just seemingly does it so effortlessly.
He does. It's funny you said that, because I was just thinking, I was like, does this guy even know he's in the semifinal and what's going on? But it's just how relaxed he is.
These days, of course, he lives in Auckland, New Zealand, does Ignashov. Relocated from Belarus to England, to New Zealand in a battle to beat the alcoholism. That seems to have worked for him. Nice clubbing right hand there from Ignashov. And a beautiful left hook just curls around the back of the right glove. Step up knee to the midsection. And the referee breaks it.
Fight.
Ignashov, who Mr. Tanakawa said has been given his last chance for a K1 revival here tonight. Good right hand from Kameo. High kick from Kameo. Then goes to the inside lead thigh. Up to the liver section. That lead leg working a treat so far for Freddie Kameo. You can see Ignashov has just got that right hand cocked and ready. He'll look to set it up with the jab, then pull the trigger, as he did against Mindaugas Sakalauskas earlier on tonight.
Ignashov threw some beautiful combinations, the uppercut, right cross, jab, right cross, and some of them are starting to get through the defenses.
35 K1 fights, 25-10, a massive 16 knockouts for Alexei Ignashov. Muay Thai clinch and knee from Ignashov. Has to release, though, after the single knee, of course.
Ignashov not very active with his legs here. Has yet to throw any kicks whatsoever. Is doing more of a jab, knee, cross, knee.
These two men must realize that they are going to face a very fresh Sebastian Chobanu in the final. Chobanu, who has only been in the ring for 3 minutes and 11 seconds all up here tonight. in 2 fights, who has the K1 world record in his sights, which of course is held by Jerome Levana back in Osaka many moons ago, of 4 minutes and 4 seconds.
Uppercut, cross, uppercut, and double knee. Most of them finding their target.
End of the first round, we go to the towels. Ignashov not coming out all guns blazing, just seeing what Kameo has to offer, showing a lot more respect to Kameo's ability than he did to that of Sakalauskas early on tonight.
But picking up a lot more towards the end of the round, finding his range, finding his target, starting to throw some serious combinations, looking very impressive. When he started out with just a 1-2, an uppercut cross and a jab cross, finished with the uppercut cross, uppercut. He's starting to really starting to put it together. I think we're going to see some excitement here in the second round.
Ignashov here. Jab 2. Nice knee to the jawline of Kameo. It's straight line punches like that have always worked a treat for Ignashov. Nice clipping hook, high knees. And just the fluidity, the experience of a Muay Thai master, of a seasoned K1 veteran. A man who has been fighting at the very highest level in the world since 1999 or late 98.
Round 2. Fight.
Made his K1 debut back in 2000. And on his debut, actually won an 8-man tournament, defeating Darius Kalesakis, Sergei Matkine, and Sergei Arkhipov, all in the one night, all by knockout. Took a couple of losses to Matt Skelton and Stefan Leko. Then went on a huge 5-fight winning streak over the likes of Andrew Thompson and Nick Pettis, Lloyd Van Dams, Peter Mastorovic, Paris Vasilikos. Wins over Peter Ertz and Bjorn Breji, Pavel Maya, Cyril Abidi, Alexander Ustinov, Mike Bernardo. The list goes on and on. Carter Williams. Ignashov has beaten them all at one stage or another. Peter Bondracek, Imani Lee, who will be fighting on Dream next week against Minowaman. And what was actually Ignashov's last fight before his return this year against Bada Hari. Nice dropping body shot there from Ignashov. Jab 2 from Iggy. Body shot again. Kameo is the one who needs to get a lot more busier now. Ignashov, you can see, has just got that right hand ready. He's got it cocked.
Ignashov seems to be pretty well trained for this tournament. I mean, his stamina seems to be looking pretty good. He's looking to finish the fight. We actually talked to him earlier today, and he said he was a little undersparred. He said he couldn't find many sparring partners for himself in New Zealand. So he said, I wish I could have sparred a little more. He goes, for the Bada Hari fight, I only sparred twice in all of my training.
Which to me is very interesting. Seeing the gym that he comes from actually boasts a lot of fantastic heavyweights, and there's no shortage of fine heavyweight fighters in New Zealand for him to spar. So I find it quite odd that Alexei should say that, actually.
Maybe he didn't show up for the sparring sessions.
Could be it. Step through knee from Ignashov. There's the right hand, and a step up knee again. He's constantly looking for the knee now. Here's Alexei.
I wish he would start going a little more to the leg kicks, because the knees aren't really landing. I mean, Freddie's able to put his elbows together and block. Most of those knees are not anywhere near their target.
Ignashov, there's a solid right hand to the jawline. Here comes the high knee, but he couldn't lock it on. And the referee just breaks it. 17 seconds remaining, second round of 3. Ignashov is yet to pull the trigger. Drops the left down to the breadbasket. There's the right hand to the jawline. Inside thigh kick from Kameo. A whipping high left round kick in the final 10 seconds.
Kameo is starting to find a target with tenderizing the lead leg, which is what he did to Lashenko before. And Ignashov stopped blocking it there about halfway through this round, which may come to pay its dividends.
It would be a shame here, Mike, if Ignashov falls back into old habits and literally falls asleep here in the third round. I mean, what we saw from Sakalauskas earlier on tonight, that was nostalgic old school Iggy. But it hasn't come to the surface yet in this fight. You smell that it could, but then you also smell that he could just fade away.
In the first round, I smelled it, and I thought that it might have like an accumulative effect to where, hey, there's your fans. Where in the second round, it might go on a little more, but it seems to be cooling down, and we're starting to see that cruising style that he had versus Badahari, where he kind of does enough to do something, but not enough to really win, and where you can't really tell if he's trying to win or just cruise through. Meanwhile, Freddie, I think he's starting to smell blood, and he's really starting to pick up. He's starting to double up on those on the front leg kicks.
So the bad thing is, Mike, that by Iggy not pushing the pace a lot more, he has allowed Freddie to now find his confidence.
Sure.
You remember earlier on when I said when Freddie was coming to the ring, he did not look as confident as he did against Lashenko when he was coming to the ring earlier. Now you look at the corner of Kameo, and he looks very relaxed. He looks like he's got his confidence. That his corner's saying to him, Freddie, you've got nothing to be concerned of here.
Yeah,
you can throw down with Ignishov.
Well, because he did. I mean, towards, halfway through the round and on, he started exchanging punches, started throwing it, and more so, he started tenderizing that front leg. And Ignishov stopped blocking.
This is semi-final number 2 of our 8-man tournament. It is a knockout tournament. You've got to win 3 fights in one night to win the title of K1 European Champion. The winner here will go up against Sebastian Ciobanu of Romania in the final. Ciobanu, who is eyeing a K1 world record at the moment. Should he win the final in 52 seconds or less, he will claim that world title.
Nice body shot there from Ignishov.
Kameo gets on the inside.
Fight!
You know who's going to be the man who is most enjoying watching this is Sebastian Ciobanu on the closed circuit screens backstage. He's fresh, Mike.
Fight!
Most definitely. And he's probably hoping that Freddie would win, because stylistically, actually, it's better if Freddie faces him in the finals, because you'll have a more tactical and a longer-term fighter going up against him.
That was a nice left round kick from Freddie Kameo.
Fight!
This is still anyone's fight for the taking, but who wants to seize it here in the final round? Cracks away to the upper left rib cage as Ignishov.
First leg kick that he's thrown here in the entire fight. We're halfway through the third round. I think he needs to start throwing the leg kicks more and stop worrying about the knees.
Ignishov probing with the jab. There's another knee from Iggy, but still nothing connecting for him. Less than half a round remaining.
And Freddie's just tenderizing that front leg, and I mean, Ignishov is just giving up on blocking it. I don't know why. Early on, he was blocking it, and Kameo wasn't throwing quite as many of them.
What is so frustrating here is that you feel that if Iggy just sucked it in and for a good 8 to 10 seconds went full frontal with those straight line punching combinations, he could really trouble Freddie.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if he could just go back to blocking that lead, blocking that front kick to the lead leg. I'm sorry, roundhouse kick to the lead leg. He could slow down Freddie. First round and a half, he wasn't able to do it.
You see the hands there of Iggy. He finally let them go and almost connected for him. Only 43 seconds remaining now in the fight. Ignishov peppering with the jab. He eats a nice right-hand counter from Kameo. Likewise, this is where Kameo needs to maybe put the foot down and start to storm the Iggy castle.
Oh yeah, just go for broke. Just go back to those, keep going with those leg kicks and set up something with the hands.
Kameo tried to fake on that occasion and almost got caught with a counter right from Iggy.
I would have to say if this fight was to go to the judges, which it will here in, 10 seconds, I think Ignishov's going to win.
Body shots from Ignishov. He is now trying to do a Winona and steal it. Takes a deep breath. We are going to the judges. Kogan Vision.
I would have to say Ignishov probably is going to win it. I mean, I think overall his punches were crispier. He was probably more aggressive if you look at the duration of the fight. But I wouldn't be shocked if this went to an extra round.
I have to agree.
It's just a matter of at what point did the judges start seeing that Kameo is really starting to come into this fight and he's starting to partly set his pace, and Ignashov just kind of letting him go that far. You know, if they saw it early on in the second round, like, you know, even if halfway through the second round, this fight could go to the extension round, which I think would favor Freddie. I think it would favor Kamayo, because he seemed like the more aggressive of the two, or the more eager to really win this of the two.
To me, Mike, it's another indication of the very hot and cold that Ignashov has run over the last few years. I mean, the red hotness we saw in his quarterfinal, now we see the coldness in the semifinal. So unpredictable, so frustrating an entity.
And the biggest frustration is that this really is amongst the last chances that he has to make it into K1, because, you know, you can only tolerate so much of this, and you can only find so many excuses. Ignashov won.
And with no suspense whatsoever again from our MC, Alexei Ignashov is through to the final against Sebastian Ciobanu. Ciobanu, who is fresh. Mike Kogan, who once again was spot on the money. That being the Romanian lei and not the euro, which we quickly found out you cannot spend here in Romania, to my frustration. And Ignashov is through to the final against Sebastian Ciobanu. What a treat it has been for this sellout crowd here at the Romexpo Pavilion Arena in downtown Bucharest.
Good fight. I mean, you got your classic Muay Thai style, slow start, sit behind the jab, come in with the power cross. Ignashov versus just a complete powerhouse and just super aggressive Ciobanu. So interesting really match. But even going into the quarterfinals, they were interesting to match, because you had two guys that were more technical and tactical, and you had two guys that were more of a power shot brawlers. And now that kind of carries into the final. So a very exciting final here. Hopefully Ignashov can, you know, skip one, get one, and come back the first fight, Iggy.
Will it be a veteran winning, or will it be another Cinderella story in Europe?
Încă un super fight, doamnelor și domnilor. Mai avem parte de două super fight-uri până la semifinalele din această seară. În colțul albastru avem un sportiv din Olanda, 24 de ani, 1,83 m, 75 de kilograme. In the blue corner, from Holland, ladies and gentlemen, Halim Isaoui!
Getting it, yeah, Hope you know how to get it, cause right here, we gon' get it. It's like this. We getting it. I'm getting it. We getting it. All my hustlers are. We getting it. You getting it.
William Sriapai makes his way to the ring for the first time ever here in Romania. And Mike, Halim Isaoui, I'm sorry, his opponent from Holland. Halim Isaoui, a Muay Thai technician from Holland, which is the real hotbed of Muay Thai outside of Thailand, of course. A very talented performer. A record of 59-4 with 28 knockouts for Isaoui. This will be a tough match. He hails from the Golden Glory Gym, training alongside the likes of Gökhan Saki and Alistair Overeem, Charlie Dayfaust. That girl just came up and asked me for a photograph 2 minutes ago, Mike.
And didn't ask me for anything.
I get hot women asking me for photos here in Romania.
You hear that, Irene?
24 years old, 183 centimeters, 75 kilos. Halim Isaoui in the blue corner.
You gotta clear your throat when you say
And now from USA, in the red corner, William Sriapai!
Американская фирма Transceptor Technology приступила к производству компьютеров «Персональный спутник».
Here he is, William Sriapai from the United States. I know there's a lot of people watching him back home on HDNet across North America. And Mikey, someone you are very familiar with.
Yeah, he trains out of the Millennia Gym with Mighty Mo. Obviously, he's one of the gyms, one of the famed fighters from there is Mighty Mo. Also, Javier Showtime Vasquez trains out of this MMA fighter. William has a 12-5, a pretty impressive MMA record, as well as a very extensive Muay Thai record. Known for being very, very, very fast, but I tell you, he's got his hands full here with Halim Isawi. Jen, I can clear my throat without worrying about it being inappropriate.
The traditional Thai Mongol, the Thai headwear around the head here of Sripai, as well as the flowers around the neck. Now, he should go over the top ropes, and he does, not through the ropes. Muay Thai fighters always go over the top rope and never through the ropes.
This is a super fight.
They will take the Mongol off his head, they will bless him in the corner, and then they will hang that Mongol on the red pole in the corner of Sripai.
William took this fight on a 5-day notice, by the way. So I don't know how much time he had to train, but he said he trains all the time at the Millennia Gym.
And there you saw the blessing in the corner. They'll take the flowers from around the neck, and the Mongol should go on the pole. Yes, it does. So adhering to very strict Muay Thai tradition here in the corner of William Sripai. Also with Faifilamoy in his corner.
Coming and eating our food.
Faifilamoy stealing from our
referee, stealing our Coke. Food is being stolen.
It's okay, Mike. I stole the referee's
I know
pen.
you took 3 of his pens. That's why.
That's what happens when you steal a commentator's Diet Coke. Final instructions here from the center referee, and we will be ready. A super middleweight contest, 75 kilos between the USA's William Sripai and Holland's Halim Isawi.
Written book.
Final instructions.
You know the rules of K1, and you have to skip people. I repeat again, it's forbidden to real bow.
You'll also see Sripai is wearing the Thai armbands around his bicep, which are known as the Prajia. Along with the Mongol, which is the headwear of the Muay Thai fighter, both are blessed traditionally by Buddhist monks. Muay Thai is really a martial art renowned for a lot of good luck talismans. And, of course, not under K1 rules, but usually before a Muay Thai contest, they will perform what is called a Wai Kru, or a Ram Muay, the pre-fight dance-like ritual of the Muay Thai fighter, which is another form of actually offering blessings to your camp and your family and friends, and no blessings for the ball sack there of William Sripai early on here.
It must be the Mighty Mo curse. Not only does Mo get kicked in his nutsack, anybody associated with Mo gets kicked in his nutsack.
What did someone do to a gypsy woman at that gym once, Mike, that she cursed them and cursed their scrotal area for life?
I don't know. The Millennia Gym must be cursed. Or they just all have really big balls. Can we say balls?
Give me your tears, gypsy.
I think we can say balls. We don't care.
You can say balls.
Fight.
You could even choose the word gonads, if you so please.
Balls is enough. Let's not get carried away.
Double jab and a hook there from Sripai. Outside thigh kick, takes another inside leg kick. The Dutch is so powerful, particularly in this weight division. And can you actually believe 75 kilos is a weight division that Tyrone Spong once held a world title in?
Dominated.
Yep, he was an absolute superstar when he was at 75 kilos through to about 85 kilos. From middleweight to cruiserweight, he was the king of the ring.
Good job by Sripai. I'm telling you, I'm very impressed here. I mean, he's fighting a really, really seasoned kickboxer here in Halim Isawi.
You hear Faifilamoy say shoot a right uppercut. He's seen an opening in Isawi's game plan so far. As Sripai just steps across nicely and cracks that lead leg. There was a high knee from Halim Isawi.
That was a beautiful roundhouse.
Halim Isawi with Overeem in his corner, not Alistair, Valentin Overeem, who on tonight's dark matches performed the fantastic Ubereem-style knockout with a knee to the body of his remaining
Oh my God, that was
in about
devastating.
30 seconds.
Devastating. Both Overeems have devastating
It
knees.
was incredible.
I wish I was born in the Overeem family. I too could knock people out with my knees.
And you'd have a 24-inch neck.
Not just the neck.
High left round kick from Isawi. Uppercut from Sripai, listening to Faifilamoy in the corner. Left hook right hand from Sripai. who is doing a very good job so far, considering, as Mike said, he took this fight on only 5 days' notice.
Against a seasoned K1 veteran, this guy has 59 fights with only 40 defeats. That's less than 1%.
And you know what I'm enjoying seeing on tonight's card is a real return of force for the Americans in K1. We have 3 Americans on tonight's card: Sidibai, Mighty Mo, and also coming up the return of Carter Williams. Great to see the old glory flying again very much in the K1 arena as Sidibai leaps forward with the right hand. Khalim Isawi locks him up against the ropes. 20 seconds remaining in the first round. Sidibai again looking for that uppercut.
I'm very impressed with Sidibai. I mean, he's doing a great job. Khalid is, of course, landing some pretty good combinations, and he's probably winning this round. But, you know, I'm telling you, taking it up.
Sidibai has a lot of fight in him, just throws up the hands and say, what the F? For a couple of late strikes there from Khalim Isawi.
I mean, having taken this fight on a 5-day notice, and Sidibai, like I said, he comes from a Muay Thai background, not much necessarily in a K1 experience, and then predominantly has been fighting MMA. Like I said, has an impressive loose kids running around, 12-5 record. But I'm really, really impressed with him coming out of this first round. I think he's showed some good heart, some good technique, landed some awesome leg shots.
Cheap kick to the thigh there from Sidibai, and Khalim Isawi just able to counter off it.
With all that said, I still think Khalim won this round. But really great fights here, Mike. You know, we have a chance here to comment. You know, really a first-class event. I mean, you can tell the crowd really likes K1, but also, I mean, the promoter Eddie has put on an amazing fights. You know, I'm sure that K1 World GP will be back to Romania in no time here.
We are ready to roll. Second round of 3. Clash of leg kicks. It was Sidibai who drew the short straw. There's a nice 1-2 from the American. And again from Sidibai. Short range knee, looking for the sternum from Khalim Isawi. Oh, body shot, and Sidibai went down. There will be a count put on here by the referee.
3, 4.
Sidibai saying there shouldn't be, but certainly it did look like he was caught with a body shot.
Yeah, it looked like he was hurt.
Fight!
Said I'm fine.
3 knockdowns in 1 round under super fight rules, of course, and the fight is over. As Sidibai just tries to manhandle.
Khalim is really taking over this fight now. I mean, he's starting to feel comfortable.
Oh, and Sidibai almost over the top rope. You know, we saw in one of our dark matches earlier on a fighter spill over the top rope, and these ropes aren't really very tight here in Bucharest.
Khalim is actually the one that grabbed him by his leg and pulled him back in like, hey boy, I want to knock you out. Let's not fall out of the ring.
Break! Step back.
And you can hear Fight for Lemoy saying, let him come in, Will, and then counter off it. Muay Thai clinch here from Khalim Isawi.
Fight!
Oh, spinning back fist was a night one. That'll ring your bell. And oh, he's almost over the ropes again. That top rope just needs to be tightened. A few wrench turns here.
Fight!
Uppercut, nice, off the right hand from Sidibai.
Stop! Oh man, how will stop?
Khalim just having words with the referee.
Well, I mean, because I don't know why he stopped him.
And Sidibai is making a bit of a scrap of this one now.
Shooting for a double leg.
Open for the right hook is saying the corner of William Sidibai.
Khalim is really taking over this fight. I mean, he's starting to feel comfortable. He found his range, and there's his.
Oh, he caught him again. It should be another standing count here. No, referee just wipes off the gloves. No count, he says. Front kick to face. And look at Khalim Isawi just turning on the power here. Just mauling William Sidibai. But how about making the long journey out for him?
Hook.
From the US here to Romania, overcoming the jet lag and the cultural differences, the food and the weather.
Oh, phenomenal. I mean, real big heart, phenomenal performance by Holly, but you're right. I mean, huge heart from William. You know, take a fight on a five-day notice. Really, at this point, doesn't have much of a chance. Just sticking in there, you know, sticking it out, wanting to finish the fight on his own 2 feet.
Well, you know what, Mike? We were counting out one of his training partners, Mighty Mo, earlier tonight. And I guess you still can't count out William Sidipai.
No, you can't, but one more knockdown, this fight is over, unfortunately.
Well, one more knockdown
he's
round,
saved.
and he is saved, so it's a clean slate for the next round.
Saved by the bell. I wanted to say that. I always wanted to say that. I also wanted to
Big hello to Mario Lopez, who I'm sure is watching as well.
I also always wanted to throw a pen at the camera, like David Letterman does. You know how he does that? How he gets up and just, well, you don't know, you're Australian. But anyway, he does. Always wanted to do that, too, and I don't think that's going to happen.
Sidipai's corner here. Go to work on their charge.
And the Dracula nurses are in the ring to let us know it's the third round. That's the unit, Dracula nurses. I'm pretty sure that's the costume they were going for. Because if all nurses in Romania look like this, take me to the hospital.
A lot of people will be taking sick days, that's for sure.
By the way, I hope your buddy Joe Rogan is watching. You should be jealous. There's like 500 ring girls, and we got food ringside.
So Sidipai, who almost twice spilled over the ropes in that round. A high front kick there from Halimisawi. Third and final round, and it's all Halimisawi so far. We'll see if Sidipai can turn the tide here.
Fight!
Good sportsmanship.
Let's talk about Sidipai's stamina. I mean, the guy did not train for a fight. Here he is in the third round. And I mean, he's taking punishment, but he's not exhausted one little bit.
He's here for the long haul. Here's William Sidipai. I still don't think he's done yet. I still see signs that Sidipai may be able to connect with something to rattle Halimisawi.
And he's definitely going for it. I mean, he's not ready to roll over to anybody.
There's a solid right hand from Sidipai.
That was back of the head.
And he's trying for that counter game, just leaning back out of the range of the punches of Isawi. And then countering back with some straight line combinations. Good front kick from Halim and tags him with the right hand.
Devastating cross there. Goes for a double leg again.
Sidipai is incredibly strong.
That's a great chin, too.
Break! Stop!
Ooh, punching off the break there. Referee getting a little bit aggro.
Well, you know what? To the fighter's defense, this referee's a little confusing.
Yeah, he needs to be a lot more hands-on and stepping in if he's going to call break.
Yeah, you don't just go break.
Inside thigh kick from Halimisawi. And nice. That was a good combination. One of my favorites. Inside leg kick, straight right hand. Used to be one of the Mark Hunt specialties in K1.
Fight!
Fight Philomoy just saying to Sidipai, you can see it coming. It's open for you. I still think Fire's talking about that right uppercut when Halim comes in on William. Left hook there from Sidipai.
Finds a target. Beautiful left hook.
Sidipai just hanging back a little too long on that exchange and gets locked up momentarily in the red corner. 55 seconds remaining.
And like I said, maybe if this guy had, at least a couple of more weeks to prepare for this fight, his timing wouldn't be off. I mean, it's basically what it is. You know, the skills, it said, is there, but your timing is a little bit off. You know, start shooting for double legs.
40 seconds remaining.
Badahari style, baby.
Break! Step back! Step back! Fight!
Outside thigh kick, high left round kick off both legs there from Halimisawi.
Stop! Halim.
Sidipai will push it to the end.
Let me tell you this. No disrespect to Will. Great heart, he's a great fighter, but taking this fight on a 5-day notice and given Halim's extensive K1 record, I did not think this fight was going to get out of the first round.
And the fact that he's from the most powerful gym on the planet, Golden Glory, Mike. Those guys are animals.
You just don't go against a Golden Glory fighter on a 5-day notice without training. I am amazed. This fight went 3 rounds, and I'm telling you, if Will had at least 2-3 more weeks, 2-3 weeks notice to train for this fight,
I agree.
he would have given him
agree.
a fight. He would have given him a fight. This is a rematch I wouldn't mind seeing, giving both guys ample time to train. I mean, props to Halim. He did a great job, put on quite a clinic, but Will really pulled through here. And I'm only calling him Will because I have a hard time pronouncing his last name.
Take a look at it again here in the final round. Left hook there from William Sidibai. Right cross from Khalimisawi. Tremendous intestinal fortitude on William.
That's why you're the voice, and that's why you're the man, because there's not a last name in this world that you just cannot not pronounce.
When you commentate soccer for as long as I did, Mike, and you pronounce those Macedonian and Serbian names, everything's easy.
Say Kohi's last name all the way.
Who's?
Quickly, Kohi.
Kohirumaki. Easy, Mike, easy.
I want to find something you can't pronounce.
Look at the crowd on hand here. Beautiful scene in downtown Bucharest. This is the place to be tonight in Romania. We will see a decision going the way, no doubt, of Khalimisawi.
I tell you, this card is, every fight.
We're about to make it all official.
The winner is in the blue corner, Khalimisawi from
No
Holland.
suspense here again
No
from
mystery,
our
no
real
suspense.
Khalimisawi is the winner over William Sidibai. As Mike said, this could be a rematch for later on this year back here in Europe, because it is one we'd love to see. A victory for the Dutch, who surprisingly are in very low numbers here tonight on this card.
Avem două super fight-uri până la finală, două super fight-uri extrem de tari. Primul sportiv, the next fighter, comes from Holland, 24 years old. He fought against big K1 names like Shield, Ernst, Boniaski, and he did it very well. I'm talking about
As if there aren't enough scary sights in Bucharest already, here's another one. Errol Zimmerman, the bone crusher from Golden Glory Gym, training alongside the likes of Gökhan Saki, Khalid Dayfaust, Alistair Overeem, and many more. Of course, a name familiar to all of us, Gökhan Saki. He was top 4 in the world in 2008. Top 8 in the world in 2009. But has only won one of his last 6 fights. Comes in on a 2-fight losing streak to Remy Bonjasky and Semi Schultz. Bonjasky, who beat him at the K1 Grand Prix last December. The only win that he's had over the last year and a half was against Glaube Feitosa in Seoul at the final 16 in September 2009. Huge entourage as always with Errol Zimmerman that includes Valentin Overeem.
Who are these people? He said this is his first time in Romania. Where did all these people come from?
I think he just met people on the street and said, do you want to be part of my entourage? I must have a bigger entourage than Vincent Chase.
Ironically,
and there's the case yet again.
Errol is sporting Alistair's Overeem's MMA shorts.
Yes, indeed.
His opponent comes from Romania. His nickname is the Death. The Death from Carpați. Moartea din Carpați, în colțul roșu. In the red corner, Cătălin Mărășanu!
We're about to see the entrance of the most popular fighter in all of Romania. And can you hear this? This is the Maori war cry. He is a huge rugby fan, being a former pro rugby player. And he often does the Maori haka before and after his fights. Cătălin Mărășanu, the Carpathian Death. He won Dancing with the Stars here in Romania only 2 weeks ago. A huge national superstar.
Dude's got his own wine. Mărășanu wine.
He has his own wine. He comes off a loss against Tai King. He was disqualified over in Korea last September.
Oh, look at that. Look at that.
He lists Bob Sapp as his favourite K1 fighter. He's a few fries short of a Happy Meal. Every time I see Mărășanu in centering, I think somewhere he is depriving a village of an idiot.
Last time he fought Tai King, he hit him after the bell rang. He stopped at the 10-second
He's nutty. He's nutty, Mike. He's not all there.
He
Lovely
didn't know
guy.
what the hell is going on.
He's got the most broken nose of any fighter in the world.
He couldn't be nicer. I mean, the guy was so sorry. Him and his trainer, they're like, we're so sorry, we're so sorry. I said, it's okay, it's not your fault, you're stupid. I hope Romanians aren't getting our feed, right?
No.
They got their own people commentating.
Yeah, his elevator does not go all the way to the top, Cătălin Mărășanu.
I don't think he's...
Listen to this, Mike. Listen to this. This whole crowd is cheering for Cătălin Mărășanu.
I think they're saying Errol.
No, they're saying Moro. He has wins over Junichi Sabayashiki, who he knocked out in only 2 minutes and 4 seconds. A win over Orhan Deniz in Budapest back in 2008. And Zimmerman, as I said, coming off back-to-back losses against Semi Schulter and Remy Benjaski. You were talking about 2 of the top 3 K1 fighters in the world there. Errol, who will fight anyone anytime, comes in as a last-minute replacement here. Let's not forget, Ruslan Karayev was originally scheduled to fight Cătălin Mărășanu. Karayev had some visa problems, could not get into the country, and therefore Zimmerman takes his place. Referee just making sure that the gloves are taped correctly here of Cătălin, who looks very lean. He's officially listed at 220. I didn't catch his weight at yesterday's weigh-in, but certainly I believe he is lighter than 220.
They didn't have the weight because they're all heavyweights, so it doesn't matter what their weight is.
And definitely lighter than his official listed weight at 220. And of course, his official listed height of 5'12".
Right, which is Romanian for 6 foot.
We are ready for this super fight. 3 by 3 minute rounds. 3 knockdowns in 1 round and it's all over. Nobody in their right mind or their wrong mind thinks this one will go the distance. Cătălin Mărășanu, Errol Zimmerman, Michael Chiavello, Mike Kogan with you. Mărășanu's got to get on the inside and he will swing like there's no tomorrow. The big come on. Mărășanu doing the chicken dance. It's over. They've thrown in the towel within 16 seconds.
Rightfully so. Mărășanu thought he was on his winery field.
Wow.
Some crops going.
Mike, that was quick. I knew this one was going to be over quickly in one way or another, but not that quick. Errol Zimmerman finishes him quicker than a nervous virgin. Motoshanu just devastated, but he was doing the chicken dance.
Well, I tell you what, I mean, that's Morishano's style, so you can't fault him for it. But who in the hell stands in front of Zimmerman? Zimmerman knocked down Badahari. Zimmerman will knock you the hell out. You don't just stand with him and try to swing punches.
He absolutely brutalized Glaube Feitosa twice.
I think stylistically they just don't match well because that's Morishano's style. That's, you know, the do-or-die attitude. That's just how he fights. I personally want to see a rematch with Tai Kin. I'm interested in seeing that fight. You know, when the bells are a little louder.
See the replay here again in a moment because we will see why Motoshanu did win Dancing with the Stars. You'll see some of his fancy footwork.
He was like,
he was doing a chicken dance.
Whoa, and then he turned and he was like, hi, Mom.
So
he's asking his corner, like, what happened? He said.
A much-needed victory here. It was not 26 seconds, it was 16 seconds.
Well, home turf advantage. You got to get it 10 seconds added to it. Does it really matter?
All right, here we go. Let's take a look at it now. Look at Motoshanu. Steps into a knee, catches the right hand to the temple, and then, whoa, does the dance. Hula hoop. Whoa,
it was actually a funny
go
knockdown
down,
because he hit him, and Motoshanu looked like he went, what the hell? And then he went, oh, shit. Yep. And then he started just go, look, watch. He's going to hit him, and there was like a 2-second delay before he went,
what happened?
I'm out.
Where am I?
Oh, my God.
Ooh, is it the ropes holding me up? Ooh, I have my own feet. Oh, no feet.
Good job of the referee actually jumping in there. Referee's been a little slow tonight, but this
good job of the corner throwing him a towel, Mike.
Well,
he was only going to get murdered.
Unless they don't like him for some reason. I mean, look at him.
Look at him. Look here. Look.
He's like, hey. Oop. Hey.
Folks, coming up next, it is Sugar Ray Sefor versus another Romanian superstar in Ionut Iftamoe.
We'll be right back with more as HDNet presents K1 World GP 2010 in Bucharest. Welcome back as HDNet presents K1 World GP 2010 in Bucharest.
This is a super fight.
Iftamoe, who weighed in at 220, gives up 20 pounds here to Sugar Ray. You saw the crowd here at the Romexpo Pavilion in Bucharest. The tables ringside, of which there must be about 60 of them, have been sold for €5,000 each. That is amazing. There's about 6 people per table, and they're €5,000 each. As Sugar Ray takes his shirt off, and we get a look at him here, Mike, and he's looking in much better condition than he did at Dynamite.
I see a 4-pack.
Sugar Ray looking good.
I see a 4-pack.
He's been doing the hard yards at Extreme Couture.
Trouble. I see a 4-pack.
Fitness coach Jake Bonacci, Gil Martinez, who was in his corner here. As I mentioned, sparring the likes of Gray Maynard and Jay Aron. He's been working with Sexy Yama as well. All the crew there at Extreme Couture.
They're all grapplers, so I'm sure they've done nothing for his stand-up game. But we see a 4-pack, and that's a dangerous Ray Sefor. That's an in-shape Ray Sefor.
Iftamoe, what would he be thinking right now? Taking on Sefor. Sefor, who once won last tilt at the K1 title. So too does Jerome Labana, who is in attendance here tonight. And you know he'll be supporting Ray. They're very good friends. Only ever fought once. Ray knocked out Labana, shattered his jaw in 4 places.
Which makes them great friends.
Well, they are great friends now. That was back in like 1999.
Just the way you said it, I was like, they're great friends. They fought once.
3 3-minute rounds, an extra round in case of a draw, 3 knockdowns in 1 round, and this super fight is all over. Final instructions in the corner of Iftamoe. And Sugar Ray Sefor, who looks very serious in his demeanor here. I don't know how much clowning around and showboating there'll be from Ray here tonight. He is very serious about getting a knockout victory, about signaling to the K1 brass that he is still here and he's still got what it takes. Michael Chavello and Mike Kogan with you. Both men renowned for their hand power. They call Iftamoe the Ivan Drago of Romanian kickboxing. And of course, Sugar Ray with one of the highest knockout ratios in the history of K1. Snappy jab there from Sefor.
Ray is looking determined.
Looping right hand from Iftamoe. Good looping right hand again from Iftamoe.
When you said how much clowning around, I was going to say it's impossible. Once the punches are thrown, it's just in his DNA.
Ray comes forward, takes a body shot. He'll try and sucker in Iftimaway to drop his guard. Ray will look to power through with the overhand right or the left hook.
Ray has phenomenal head movements. I mean, it's unbelievable. You see how he moved his head and rolled the punches?
Not only that, but his speed is superb. One thing he has not lost is his speed.
And his ability to clown around.
I've seen him spar many a time at Extreme Couture. Takes on all the younger guys and absolutely dances circles around them. High left round kick.
Nice.
Originally, he was nicknamed Sugar Foot. He now drops the foot, just calls himself Sugar Ray. But the reason he was called Sugar Foot was because back in the day when he was a light heavyweight world's Muay Thai champion and a cruiserweight world's Muay Thai champion and heavyweight champion, he knocked out most opponents with his high kicks. Looking to pull down the head into a Muay Thai clinch and a meet and greet knee there, Iftimaway. This crowd's somewhat divided, though most of them will be behind Iftimaway. Ray Sefo is a huge, huge star here in Bucharest.
Yeah, you're probably right. And, you know, when they're cheering, you don't really know who they're cheering for.
Ray is yet to really pull the trigger on that right hand as he checks the low kick. Front kick to the midsection from Sefo.
Okay.
Snappy jab again from Sefo. There's a left hook. Outside thigh kick from Iftimaway. Overhand right from the Romanian. Sefo has a very solid jawline on him. He's only ever been knocked out clean once in K1. That was against Semi Schilt in their super heavyweight world title fight back in 2007. On the very same night that Mighty Mo knocked out Hongman Choi. On the night that Badahari and Ruslan Karayev had their epic contest for the second time. Turning back kick to the midsection from Sefo. Good long-reaching jabs here from Sefo. Snickered it on the schnoggin of Iftimaway. There's the overhand right, and he caught him. It was the very same punch, that glancing right hand to the top of the head that knocked out Melvin Manoff, that knocked out Ruslan Karayev. And here he is dropping Iftimaway with it.
Iftimaway was protesting, but boy, that was a knockdown.
It was. And again, Mike, as I said, the sheer speed of the hands of Sefo come to the fore.
He's still there.
We'll take that as a 10-8 round.
Oh, he's still there. That's a 10-8 round, and I'm telling you, Ray's looking good. He's rolling from the punches. His head movement is perfect. He's throwing some power shots. He's looking good. You know, you're right. He hasn't lost his speed, and that's something to say. You know, that's something to say about a fighter. Because as you get old, I mean, it's just
usually one of the first things to go.
You know,
power is usually the last.
Control, you know?
Speed is usually one of the first.
Speed goes with age, and you know, Ray's way over 26, so
39 years old, Ray Sefo, who says that his greatest inspiration these days comes from training alongside Randy Couture, who is himself an ageless veteran.
58. What's Randy?
Look at the speed here from Ray. Thrust the jab into the jawline. There's the overhand right. The real trademark knockout punch of Ray over the years have been a step-through right hand. Now, it's the one he used to knock out Labana back in the day. It's the one that he taught to Jay Aron, that Jay Aron used against Jason High to knock out Jason High at Affliction. The step-through overhand right of Ray Sefo, one of the most devastating weapons in K1 history. Jab from Sefo. Loops in with the left hand, doubles up on it to Sefo. Iftimaway wants to juke it out in the corner. Does he want to go toe-to-toe with Sefo, though? Sefo offers his jaw. I see a lot more aggression about Ray, a lot more killer instinct than what we saw at Dynamite. And again, the right hand to the jawline of the Romanian. Iftimaway connects with a snappy jab. A very entertaining contest. Nice knee there from Iftimaway. Sefo with that stunning jab again. Inside leg kick just below the knee. The shouts go up for Iftimaway.
And now I can finally pronounce his last name. It has been fanatically broken down for me.
Overhand right from Iftimaway. Sefo continuing with that jab. Iftimaway trying to power through, but Sefo catching him with the inside of the right glove. Oh, the high knee from Iftimaway! And Sefo shrugs it off. There's that Samoan jawline. You know, Samoans and Polynesians in general are renowned for having the most densest bone structure
I think
of all human
he's
beings.
starting to lose his punching power. I mean, I think he's punched himself out.
High knee from Sefo.
I really think he punched himself out.
There's the overhand right. The opening was there for an uppercut, but Ray didn't see it. We've seen Ray go to war toe-to-toe against sluggers. No more famously than against Mark Hunt in Fukuoka in 2001, in what's still voted to this day as the all-time greatest K1 slugfest. Beautiful body shot there from Sefo. Iftamoe again, Muay Thai clinch. Outside thigh kick from Sefo. It is a toe-to-toe battle.
Iftamoe is completely exhausted. I mean, he's literally punched himself out here.
Sefo's going to find the uppercut here. Good left hook from Iftamoe. But again, just glances. And Sefo with a double hand. Nice power combination.
He took, hey, Iftamoe took those two.
He's got a jawline as Iftamoe, that's for sure. Ray was going to try and pull the head down for a knee and got counted.
Now they look like they're both tied.
Under 25 seconds remaining. Jab two from Sefo. It's been mostly a boxing contest. Now Sefo throws a kick. Iftamoe tries to back him up. Sefo cracks the right hand to the jaw. Final 10 seconds of the round. Sefo clips it with an overhand right. One more round to go. Iftamoe says, I'm not going to go quietly into the night.
No, he's not. What a fight. He took some shots from Ray and just kept on coming. Wow, very, very interesting, very, very exciting fight here. I got to give Iftamoe some little credit. I thought it was going to be an easy first round knockout, but he's definitely hanging in there.
Iftamoe wearing some very good shots from Sefo in that round and giving some of his back. Ray showing that at 39 years old, he's still got that rock-solid jawline. Iftamoe is a renowned power hitter. Any man that went 4 rounds and drew with Alexander Ustinov certainly gets my respect.
See, Ray takes those punches, but he also rolls his head. I mean, a lot of this stuff,
Sheer experience from Ray Sefo.
you know, he doesn't just take, well, that one he did.
A 53-fight veteran in K1 alone. Probably has over 100 career fights easily in K1 Muay Thai kickboxing. Also now mixed martial arts. He's also pro box. He's done the whole gauntlet, has Ray Sefo. Gets back to center ring with a nice little angle turn. Knee to the midsection from Iftamoe. Ray tries to cork the outside thigh. Good stiff jab from Sefo. Digs in with the uppercut. Jab, just keeping Iftamoe at the end of the left hand is Sugar Ray. Outside thigh kick from the Romanian. Ray looks for a counter right hand. Left hook from Iftamoe. Nice 4-punch combination from Iftamoe. Ray gets off the ropes and back to center ring. Fires the right hand to the jaw.
Well, let me ask you something, Mike, in your opinion here. I mean, Ray's letting the guy hit him a lot. Unless he knocks him out, this fight may go to decision.
Well, definitely 10-8
first round, 10-8.
to Ray.
That's right. Okay. Yeah, he knows what he's doing. I'm just saying, you know,
But that said, though, Ray is giving away points by letting Iftamoe hit him quite a number of times.
yeah.
Good evasion there from Ray. Nice stinging right hand. Good right hand again. Sefo just catching those shots with the inside of the right glove, throws a knee belly button through the back, and he says, nah, can't hurt me, and tries to put the chin through the top of the head.
Threw a beautiful combination, uppercut right hook. He knocked out Gary Goodridge with that at Dynamite a while ago.
2005, if I recall, against Gary Goodridge.
That was devastating. It was like, what, first minute and a half minute in the fight?
Referee wipes off the gloves with 1 minute 5 remaining, third and final round. Sefo again threading that succulent jab. Knee.
Iftamoe has A hell of a chin.
Oh, just slips. Under a minute remaining now. Sefo again with the jab. There's the right hand from Sugar Ray. Ifta Moe, head rocked back a couple of times, eats a front kick to the midsection. Uppercut from Ray, short left hook, had no mustard behind it. Big right hand from Ray, outside thigh kick. Right hand again, led with it on that occasion. Good right hand counter from Sefo, that'll score for him. Ifta Moe with the left hook. Weaving the Romanian, but has he got enough left here? Final 10 seconds. Ray goes to the inside thigh, tries to split the legs like a wishbone. Jab 2 from Sefo. Uppercut, end of the third and final. We go to the judges. A tremendously entertaining contest, and what an ovation from this capacity crowd.
Unbelievable. Wow. I mean, you talk about this, both of these guys' jaws. I mean, I think at some point they just let their defenses out and just seen who can punch, who can out. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I mean, we know Ray has a jaw, but I'm really impressed with Ifta Moe because Ray Sefo hit him on at least 4 to 5 occasions flush, I mean, hard punches, and they just kept coming.
You see the angles, the head movement, the speed of Sefo, the experience there. Ifta Moe, beautiful 6-punch combination. And Ray just shrugged it off. It was like a fly hitting a brick wall. Just taking out the lead leg there, Ifta Moe. Checks the low kick. We will see how the judges score this one. Definitely the first round was 10-8 to Ray.
And that pretty much seals the victory here. I mean,
unless the judges give the second and third round 10-9 both to Ifta Moe, which would draw the fight, it should go in Ray's favor.
Ray did. I mean, Ray, didn't just let him beat him up the whole round.
Oh, no, I agree. I totally agree.
I think Ray lets you hit him, but he keeps count in his head. He doesn't let that get out of the control.
So the way we see it is that Ray should edge a decision out here against Ifta Moe.
Yeah.
Especially after dropping the Romanian in the first round.
Most definitely.
And he receives a fantastic applause. Sportsman, here's Ray Sefo.
Yellow shirt domination going on in the ring there. But props to Ifta Moe. I mean, he really hung in there. You really did. 2-year layoff, you come back, you fight, Sugar Ray. That's not an easy task.
And he has done it as we thought. Ray Sefo takes the decision here against Yonit Ifta Moe. Folks, word just in that the final fight here tonight will not see Alexei Ignashov. He has damaged his right knee. Ignashov is out to the final. Therefore, it will be Sebastian Ciobanu taking on Freddy Cameo in the final for the European K1 Grand Prix title. Once again, Ignashov is out due to an injured knee. And Freddy Cameo comes through to replace him against Sebastian Ciobanu.
Până dăm drumul la finala piramidei, doamnelor și domnilor, aș vrea să vi-l prezint pe cel care a făcut posibilă organizarea acestei gale. Promotorul și organizatorul acestui show din România, Sebastian!
Tale be complete. The K1 European Grand Prix always seems to unearth a new fairy tale. It was Paul Slewinski many years ago. Then it was Errol Zimmerman. It was Sergei Lashenko last year. This year's fairy tale, Sebastian Chobanu, beating his first opponent in 47 seconds.
In the blue corner from Romania, Sebastian Chobanu. Alexei Ignashov has been replaced by Freddy Kemayo. So, in the red corner, we have the French fighter, Freddy Kemayo!
Here's the man with 2 lives. Freddy Kemayo returns to the ring. He was defeated by Alexei Ignashov in the semi-finals by decision. Ignashov has injured his right knee, cannot continue to the final. Therefore, the Frenchman Kemayo gets the recall. So a huge opportunity here for Kemayo. At stake, a place in the final 16 in September in Korea. One of these men is now only 2 fights away from being in the K1 World Grand Prix. That's the math. A win here and a win in Korea will put you in the top 8 in the world. Let me tell you, Sebastian Chobanu is eyeing the world record here. The record stands at 4 minutes and 4 seconds, set by Jerome Labana in Osaka early on in his career. It took him only 4 minutes and 4 seconds to run through 3 opponents in one night. At the moment, Chobanu is on 3 minutes and 11 seconds. So therefore, a 53-second victory in the first round here will equalize the record for Chobanu. 52 seconds and less in this final will claim Sebastian Chobanu, the son of Dracula, the new K1 Grand Prix tournament time record. We do not know if Chobanu is aware of this. We do not know if anyone else is aware of this. We are K1 nerds, Mike. Therefore, we are aware of this.
I doubt Chobanu's aware of this. But he may just break the record here. I don't see him, drawing this out and letting Freddie sit behind those leg kicks and get his rhythm going and kind of get to a 3-round decision and slow him down. His power comes from him being explosive and having a strong punch. So he needs to do that early on in a round. So he oh my goodness. All the Dracula nurses are now lined
all on the
up.
catwalk.
They're all on the catwalk, every one of them. And there's
at least 30 of them.
At least 30 of them.
Final instructions here from our center referee. 3 by 3 minute rounds, 2 extra rounds in case of a draw. And now in the final, 3 knockdowns in 1 round. The stare down here from Chobanu. He has been the Cinderella story. 47 seconds to knock out Daniel Sapiljon. 2 minutes and 24 to stop Mighty Mo. And here we go in the final of the K1 European Grand Prix from Bucharest, Romania. Michael Chiavello and Mike Kogan with you. And here comes Chobanu. He's got 52 seconds to try and set the record here. I'm sure that's not at the forefront of his mind, even if he does know it. It is most important to win the title, to get that spot in the final 16. Kemayo, a golden opportunity. Can he capitalize? Just tries to sweep out the lead leg there, does Freddy Kemayo, with 35 seconds down in this round. Chobanu, long-reaching left hand. Looping punch there from Kemayo. Chobanu goes to the body. Nice double shot front kick to the midsection.
Obviously, the longer this fight goes, it benefits Cameo because he's able to deliver. You know, he's able to tenderize that front leg, slow down Chibano.
And Chibano will not get the record, folks. We're now a minute into this round, but Chibano like a house of fire. The left hook from the Romanian. Cameo goes for the high right round kick. Chibano goes down to the liver section. There's the tagging right hand from Chibano. Knees to the midsection, and Chibano again goes to the liver. Chibano, who came in here tonight with only one K1 fight under his belt, lost to Sergei Lyshenko. Oh, jump-balking right hand, uppercut from Chibano. You've got to love the stylings of this very impressive Romanian. Only 25 years old. Big left hand again from Chibano. Body shot, rips away to the liver like he's digging for oil. Uppercut from Chibano, inside leg kick, Muay Thai clinch and knee. Just a dominating performance so far from the son of Dracula.
And Chibano is doing really, really well. The question is, can he keep it up? You know, he hasn't gone past, what, three minutes in all of his 2 fights.
The relative unknown will become a household name in Romania overnight, should he win this one. It is being broadcast live on Pro TV, Romania's largest television station. Oh, front kick to the nose, and that nose bleeding now.
No,
and Chibano also cut over the left eye. So 2 sources of blood on the face of Chibano. He'll be okay here. Cameo glancing towards his corner. A lot of instructions coming from the French.
And all of them involve keep your hands up and low kick. In my best understanding of French. He said he can't see. He can't see.
I think they're telling him take out the legs, so he drops his hands and drops his head down, and then try and go for a head high round kick.
I think so too. I think so too. You know.
Very clever strategy from the French corner. Take out the legs of Chibano, let him drop his hands. We know Cameo's got those beautiful round kicks. Nice front kick upstairs again from Cameo. There are the leg kicks the corner was calling for. Good leg kick again from Cameo. And there's the head kick they were after. To that damaged side of the face. Final seconds here of the first round. It has been a gutsy contest, a gritty contest, and it is everything, Mike, we hope this K1 European final would be.
Yeah, beautiful. I mean, a beautiful, beautiful first round. You know, obviously Chibano came out like a house on fire, but Kamaya was able to overcome that, slow him down, and kind of put him in his pace. And if you look at the second half of the first round, it was really going Kamaya's way. He was starting to set his pace.
Freddie Cameo, that whipping a high and left round kick of his. Certainly the tide did turn once that cut happened to Chibano. Cameo was sent to the neutral corner, received instructions, and he did exactly what his corner asked. Leg kicks and then the high kick.
Chibano also looked a little bit winded going into the end of this round. It's like I said, his stamina has yet to be tested here. He hasn't gone past 3 minutes. He basically fought 1 round up until now.
Double jab, overhand right there from Chibano. If they put any more Vaseline, his left eyebrow will slip off. Here we go, second round. Chibano smiling, trying to psych himself up. All of Romania has their hopes pinned on the son of Dracula. Good high right round kick from Chibano. Tried to loop the shin around the back of the neck. Trade of jabs.
He's got to start checking those kicks. If he wants to slow down Freddie, he's got to start checking those kicks.
Nice body shot.
You just can't let him go through.
Good leg kicks again from Cameo.
Notice when Lashenko was checking the kicks in the first round, Chimaev wasn't throwing as many. It wasn't until he stopped, and that's what everybody keeps doing. He stops checking his leg kicks.
You've got to check those kicks. You know why? Because the shin is bandaged here of Chimaev, which means his right shin is hurt. If you check those leg kicks, his shin will be the one hurting.
Exactly, and it's going to discourage. And like I said, with Lashenko in the first round, he was checking him, and Chimaev wasn't throwing nearly as many leg kicks.
Nice inside thigh kick to the back leg from Freddie Chimaev. It's been Chimaev's round so far as he rips the head back with a good popping left uppercut. Chance go up for Freddie in the French portion of the crowd. For Ciobanu in the partisan Romanian portion.
Ciobanu with some good combinations. No mustard behind those punches, but, you know, they are scoring as they were landing.
Uppercut from Freddie in the high knee. Uppercut from Ciobanu went so high. St. Peter knocked it back. 1 minute 10 remaining in the second.
Ciobanu's mouth is open. He's breathing hard. His stamina is definitely starting to deplete here.
Ciobanu working on the inside. Trying to muster the power. High knee again was caught on the forearms. Freddie Chimaev continually coming forward. His cardio has never been challenged here tonight, Chimaev. Uppercut again, just rocks the head back. A little bit of bravado from Ciobanu, but he knows he's behind in this round. Oh, snapping uppercut again from Chimaev. Referee just cautioning Chimaev on the extended clinching. Blood streaming down the left side of the face of Sebastian Ciobanu.
The referee's going to wipe him down and get some of that blood out of his eye.
He's the son of Dracula. He likes blood. 20 seconds remaining. Uppercut again from Chimaev. And there it is. 2 rounds down, 1 to go. If the first round was Ciobanu's, the second round was Freddie Chimaev's.
Most definitely, which means this is anybody's fight here in the final of the European World GP. And like you said, the winner goes straight to Seoul. That's where all these guys want to end up in that final 16. Only 8 spots up for grabs. For those of you who don't know, the 8 fighters will come from the previous year, the strongest fighters, and then the 8 fighters will qualify. And I believe there's always a 1 or 2 spots for fan and promoter recommended.
We still have the Oceania GP in Australia to come. We are seeing the European GP here tonight.
And there's an Asian GP.
Asian GP also, all the winners of which will go through to the final 16.
Somewhere I'm hoping that Ignashov has at least done enough to show the K1 brass that maybe he should get that promoter invite over to Seoul. I really would like to see how he would have been here in the finals. I think he could have taken this tournament had he made it to the final.
Ciobanu first to center in here. Okay, the chance going up. You hear a Sebi for Sebastian Ciobanu. Third and final round. Ciobanu, nice kick to the liver. Straight right hand liver kick again from Ciobanu. The instruction may have came from the corner. Go to the body of Freddie Chimaev. Let's try and slow him down. Uppercuts from Ciobanu. Caught the round kick on the forearm. Oh, a wild axe kick. Oh, right hand catches him. Ciobanu goes down. The pendulum have definitely swung now, Mike.
I think that about sealed this fight right here.
And you could hear tumbleweeds blowing through the arena here. Yeah. It went silent all of a sudden.
Yeah, I think that about sealed it. Unless he can, by some miracle, knock down Chimaev here, which he's trying.
I would not put it past Ciobanu. He is not going to go quietly into the night, the Cinderella story. Uppercuts from Ciobanu. Goes to the body now. But he takes another 2-punch combination. Chimaev backs him up. Ciobanu in trouble once more. And Chimaev just picking him apart systematically, breaking down the Romanian.
Ciobanu's stamina is gone. He's really punched himself out here in the first and the second round. You know, this is all heart now. It's just You know, I mean, he can't just go down like that in front of his own home crowd.
The flashy stuff isn't going to work this late in the fight. Kameo comes forward. A little bit of swelling around the eye, the right eye of Kameo, but nothing to really faze the Frenchman. With half a round remaining, he must know that he need do nothing silly, and he will have this fight in the bag. Body shot from Choibanu. Uppercut from Kameo. Choibanu being backed up again. Kameo, nice front kick. Kameo constantly on the front foot here, Mike.
He slowed down there for a second, and you could see his corner going, no, you got a minute left, and you keep pressing forward. You know, do not leave a chance that something might go wrong here. And now they're just slugging it out in the center ring here.
Uppercut, left hooks, uppercut again from Kameo. Oh, high right round kick tagged in. Referee moves in. Second count here on Choibanu. Freddie Kameo can smell it. He can smell the victory coming, Mike. It's only 30 seconds away. No, they think it's all over. It is now. Sweet victory. The man with 2 lives, Freddie Kameo, makes the most. He is the champion. It has been a long time since we've seen a K1 champion of any form from France. Freddie Kameo will fly the French flag in the final 16. Somebody behind us is losing the plot.
No, in the ring.
Was that in the ring?
Yes, that was in the ring.
Great sportsmanship here from Kameo and Choibanu. It was a war. Kameo 2 knockdowns in the final round. It was under the 3 knockdown rule, but Choibanu was done. Let's have a look at it again here. Axe kick from Kameo, uppercut, right hand, knockdown number 1. Choibanu just taking more hits than a blackjack table. It will be Kameo through to the final 16, but you know what, folks? Choibanu will be in contention for a wild card after tonight's performance because he has let nobody down. Freddie Kameo wins. It is his first ever K1 title. Well deserved for a real veteran of European kickboxing and Muay Thai. But as I said, I'd take my hat off to Choibanu if I was wearing a hat.
Hey, World GP style, baby. We're rolling in Romania.
And there's the money shot. What an atmosphere here in Bucharest. It's been a superb evening. And it is raining blue and red stars on us here ringside. Emotions are flowing high, as well they should. No fight sport quite garners the emotional gauntlet like K1 does. It is still the greatest fighting spectacle on the planet.
Great victory.
Fantastic.
Great victory for Kameo. Nobody picked him. Nobody really thought he had a chance. You know, what a comeback. Gets a lucky break with Ignashov getting injured, comes in and delivers. And you know what? I'm glad he won the way he won because his previous 2 fights all went to decisions, and you wouldn't want to, you know, and I think he just kind of put an exclamation point here at the end, saying, hey, I can knock people out. I can stop fighters too. Just takes me a little longer.
Brilliant night of action. For the first time ever, the K1 World Grand Prix European Tournament here in Romania, a hotbed for K1. Folks, from myself, Michael Chavello, my verbal sparring partner, Mike Kogan, you have been watching the greatest fight spectacle on the planet. You have been watching the international fight sport that is K1. We hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time. Until then, it's good night from Bucharest. Congratulations, Freddie Kameo.